Tonight's the night. And it's going to happen again and again.
There is a great disturbance in the Force.
I have felt it.
You thought illness was gonna keep me away from YouTube? You got another thing coming, YouTube. Here we go, baby. Let's go. We're gonna rock and roll. We got some things to talk about tonight. MAGGCAST is back and live. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. How you doing? How's everybody doing out there? How is everybody? Look at all that green in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. We got green and blue out there. It's fantastic. We are back. We are live. And I'm sorry about last week, but I had no voice. So we're going to see how long my voice lasts tonight. So it's going to be pretty wild to see because last night, about halfway through XNC, my voice started crapping out like crazy. So yeah, it was pretty wild, man. It was pretty wild. But either way, we're here. And I just did a nasal flush, a sinus flush. Excuse me, a sinus flush. Let me tell you something, folks. Before we even start the show, if you have a stuffy nose, if you have a cold, if you have a flu, or if you have a sinus infection, whatever the hell it is, there's this thing out there. I can't remember what the hell it's called. Like Medicaid, not Medicaid. Medicaid is something else. That's the American health program. It's I don't know what the hell it's called. I'll find out the name of it, but it's a sinus flush. So what it is, it's like this tube about yay big, right? And what you do is you fill it up to the line, which is about almost to the very top, and you fill it up with warm water. And it comes with these little pouches with sodium bicarbonate and some other powders. And you rip this thing open, you dump it in the water, you close the lid, and the lid is got like a big nozzle on it, right? But like really thick. And you shake it up, and what you do is you stick it up your nose in one nostril. You sit over the sink like this, right? And you squirt it like hardcore. And what it does is because the nozzle is so fat, it literally blocks all the air. Like there's no air coming in or out, right? So it creates like a vacuum sort of thing, right? You flush this thing out. And what it does is it fires this solution straight up into your sinus cavity. And then it comes out your other nostril. It's hilarious. I mean, not hilarious while you're doing it because you start choking and stuff. But, but either way, you do that. And then when you're done, you do half the bottle. Then you put it to the other nostril. And then you squirt it up the other nostril. And then it all comes out the other side. And then you stand there for like 30 seconds. And you just let it all kind of like drip down. And then you blow your nose about 5 times. And I'm telling you right now, the stuff is an absolute miracle worker. It cleans out your sinuses. I got my voice back, at least temporarily. And it's awesome. That's awesome. Let me tell you something, all right? It's awesome. So I did that right before the show tonight, folks. But we're not here to talk about my nasal cavity or my sinus infection that I had all last week. So I missed XNC last week. I missed MAGGCAST last week. I missed Friday Night Live last week because I was not only just ill, but I couldn't speak. Pretty hard to speak. Pretty hard to do a show when you can't speak. You know what I'm saying? But I can speak now. But here we are. So anyways, without further ado, folks, let's just get right into this, okay? I want to say hi to everybody out there, and everybody's doing well. And, of course, by the way, I'd also like to point out that last Tuesday was my birthday. It was my 51st birthday last Tuesday. We were supposed to have a celebration here on the show. However, I was horribly ill, so I spent my birthday curled up in a ball in bed, sweating and basically crying myself to sleep. So it wasn't really much of a birthday. However, I made up for it this weekend. We had a 3-day bender up north at my brother-in-law's cottage, and boy, did we ever have fun. It was epic. So yeah, it was pretty amazing. But either way, we're doing the birthday celebration tonight. Why not? A week later, who cares? I'm still 51. So either way, I'm 51 years old. I hate to be that guy. I'm going to say happy birthday to me, okay? So happy birthday to me. I'll sing a song to myself in the mirror and just go to bed and be lonely. Rip, you're not going to hear about those other cavities, all right? So anyways, yeah. I hope you guys checked out everybody else's shows that were on today. We had Iron Storm is in the chat right now. He had a show on earlier. Arrow Nation in the house had his show earlier. Thank you for the birthday wishes, everybody. And then, of course, now my show. Now we are here at the ripe hour of almost 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know how the hell Iron Storm does it. The man is a savage, but either way. So, the topics I want to talk about tonight, not Xbox Magnus, Xbox Madness. Okay, we're changing the name. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I know it used to be called Project Mag and Project Magnus, but with everything that's been happening since last Friday, we are changing it to Project Madness. Okay, Xbox Madness. That's what's been going on. That's pretty much going to dominate the entire show. Let's face it. So there's that. There's also something interesting that came out of Discord as well, which we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But Twitch said, hold my beer. We'll get into that conversation a little bit later. We've got a release date for Wolverine, folks. And the reason why I'm bringing up Wolverine, I know I did a video about it earlier, and I did a short about it earlier, and I'm excited for it, not only because I'm excited for the game, but I'm also excited as to where this is going to take us in 2026, because what's happening now, and this is something we've talked about, and I know everybody sort of has the same idea, is that now the rest of 2026 is starting to shape up. And that is what we've been waiting for. Sorry, I had to turn off my my little space heater. It's getting too bloody hot in here. And you know the funny thing is, it's actually cold down here in the studio. But, you know, I turn on the heater when I'm down here playing games and stuff. But the thing is, when I go live and I start doing my thing and I start waving my arms like a crazy Italian, what ends up happening is I start getting hot. Right? So, you know, it's kind of a thing. But either way. Yes, thank you for all the birthday wishes, everyone. Oh, we got someone out there doing something, saying something. But either way, we'll get to that just momentarily. So here's the thing. We're going to talk about all these things tonight. And I think what we're going to do is, before we even start, we're going to say, oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, he's getting the party started already for the birthday. We got 78 Ink coming in, dropping. 78 Ink comes in and drops a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, my brother. And he says, happy birthday, my brother. Well, thank you very much, 78 Ink. I appreciate you greatly, brother. Thank you very much for the birthday wishes. And, of course, for the donation to the channel. It's always appreciated, my friends. Always appreciated. Always. I got some new things coming to the channel in the next month or so. I'm just working on things slowly. Like I said, I want to be like what did the Sony studio say like 10 years ago? We're going to do everything organic, folks. We're going to do it organic. Slowly, surely, and in a positive direction. So we'll do all those things. I find that when someone throws, and I've seen this done before, obviously watching YouTube for, 14 years, 16 years now, however long it's been that I've been watching YouTube, is that I see some people out there just throw everything at the wall and then just see what sticks, right? But the problem with doing something like that is that you don't have a focus. And when you don't have a focus and build on that foundation of your focus, what ends up happening is that people lose interest because there's no consistency as to what you're doing. You're just going wild in every direction. Sure, I do some different things. I do my cooking videos once a month. That's just a special I do 12 times a year, to be exact, right? So I do them once a month, but that's just something I do. But I just don't throw everything in every direction. I keep it focused, but I will expand the channel even further as the year progresses. So I'm excited to be doing all of those things, yes. Now, what we're going to do is, before I even start here, let's take a look at this poll and see what's going on here with this poll. And see how this is all playing out. I have it over there. So we got the poll. I'm going to actually end it now. We've got 48 votes. I'll wait a few more minutes. I'll wait a few more minutes and then I'll end it. But right now, I put, do you trust? And I don't mean this in like a nasty way, ladies and gentlemen. I really don't. I'm just asking a question. And the question was, of course, do you trust the new CEO, Ashish Sharma? 67% said no. 33% said yes. And it seems to be holding. Actually, 68% no now. So there's all of that.
Welcome to hell.
So, but either way, hey, we'll see. We'll give it a few more minutes, and then we'll cut the poll off there. We have 63 beautiful people in the chat right now. I know there's lots of other people going live right now and talking about things, but it is what it's going to be, so we will get back to that poll. Now, that being said, Scott Gamer Dude comes flying in.
Welcome to hell.
Scott Gamer Dude comes in and drops 5 gifted members. Thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate you. And to all the new channel members out there,
welcome to hell, motherfucker!
There you go. Welcome to hell, maggots.
Fight, maggot!
I see some beautiful names out there. Thank you so much for that. And hot off the heels of that, we've got Neil Gushwa coming in, dropping a $10 super chat. Thank you, my... And he says, happy birthday. Perfect timing for Requiem. Thank you for always putting on a great show, brother. Thank you so much, Neil. I appreciate you dearly and being such a great supporter of the channel. Same with you, Scott. Same with you, 78 Ink fan. You guys are absolutely amazing. Love all you guys.
Welcome to hell.
And Scott Gamer Dude, on top of that, has become a top tier maggot. He gets a rare achievement for that. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you and all the support to the channel. Sorry, as you can tell, sometimes I'm just going to be coughing up a little something. Alex is saying, Mag, we love you. Could we get a selfie? Of course. Hold on a second. There you go. Got a selfie. I'm just kidding. I didn't take a selfie at all. Everybody who just got a gifted member from Scott, make sure you thank him in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. And, of course, welcome to the club.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
That's right. Get in there and fight, maggots. All right, we're going to end this poll now, folks. We're going to end this poll. Let's take a look at it. All right, so we have 57 votes that said, do you trust the new CEO, Ashish Sharma, for Xbox? 70% said no, and 30% said yes. We're going to end the poll right there. So there it is, folks. Yikes, I guess. We will be talking about all that in great detail a little bit later in the show. But what do you guys want to talk about first? I got all these topics. You know what? Let's start with the Discord thing because it's a fast one. We'll get it out of the way, and then we're going to move on to something else. Which, of course, like I said, the rest of that show, I just spit all over my microphone. God damn it, that's disgusting. See what happens when you're full of phlegm and, well, full of shit, I guess. Some people think I'm full of shit, but, you know. That was literally the most disgusting thing I ever see. I just looked at the see, that's what happens when you have a good camera, folks. I looked at the camera, and it looked like, I don't want to say it yet. It's a little early in the stream, but... if anybody watches Pornhub, y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Do not come. Do not come.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
I'm gonna come.
Yep. Hey, Harley, how you doing? Furious Legacy. Great name. Great name. I know this 4K camera is actually problematic. You know what's funny about that? Now that I'm going to say it, you know, when 4K cameras came out when there was porn, like it showed way too much. Okay, let's just get this out of the way now and just talk about it. It was showing way too much. Like the detail was a little bit too detailed. You know what I'm talking about? I kind of liked a little bit of the blurry camera going on. And when the 4K came out, I'm like, oh, I didn't need to see that. But either way, we'll continue. We'll continue. Now, Discord. Let's talk about that real quick. So turns out, ladies and gentlemen, that Discord has walked back. I had to hit it 5 times. Discord has walked back their mandate, I like to call it, because it's exactly what it was. They have walked back their mandate about requiring your ID, your face, your whatever, or age verification for all of that stuff. So it is gone. STO, exactly. You got to have a little mystery. You know what I'm saying? So apparently Discord walked it back. All right. What's not great about it is that Twitch. So Discord is going to be totally fine. We can carry on. There's not going to be. It's not going to be an issue. You will not have to give your face or your government ID or any of that stuff. Apparently, they walked it back. They heard the people and they realized, oh wow, we really fucked up, because that's exactly what happened, and that's exactly what was going to happen. They knew that they were going to. It was a, you know, as everybody says, the FAFO. You know what I'm saying? However, Twitch, being the dumbass shitbrains that they are, said they are still going to implement it. So apparently they said, well, so Discord says, no, we're getting rid of it. Now Twitch is saying, well, now we're doing it. And I'm like, well, that's not going to fly. And I can tell you that right now. And you know, the thing is, they keep pushing for this stuff. And this is what's driving me insane. This whole government data center stuff that's going on and everything else, and trying to get all our data, get our faces, get everything. And let me tell you something. When you get people's government IDs and they hand them off to these advertising companies, which are not reliable. They don't tell us who they're giving it to. They just give it to them behind our backs, essentially, and without our permission, even though they kind of have our, they kind of say it like in the smallest of the small print on page 976 of when you hit accept. It's all there, but like it's done in a nefarious fashion, and I can't stand it. I can't stand it. So yeah, Twitch is doing it. Yeah, that's really stupid. On top of that, I want to tell you guys something else interesting is that Meta reached out to me today, sent me an email, and said, you haven't used your Meta account in a while, this and that or whatever. And I'm like, well, I'm still on Facebook, and I'm still on Instagram like pretty much daily. Like Facebook, I kind of just like, I just log in like once a day and just kind of take a quick peek and see what's going on. I mean, Facebook is a complete joke now. It's 99% advertisements and other people's pages who I don't even know who they are. And it says, are you interested in this? Are you interested in that? And it's basically all that stuff, right? So because of that, I'm on there like once a day just for like 10 seconds, whatever. Instagram, I'm on there all the time because they always have hilarious reels and stuff like that. And I always check that, send them to my friends and whatever and family. And they're all hilarious. But anyways, Meta is saying to me, they send me an email and they're like, it says people under the age of 14 have been detected utilizing your device. That would be my children using the headsets, right? I have a Meta 2 and a Meta 3, and they're both still in use. And they use them daily, whatever. And it says, but if you want to keep your account, you have to give us your government ID picture. And I told him to go fuck himself. And then it says, if you don't do that, they threatened me. They go, if you don't do that, we will most likely cut off your access from Facebook and Instagram. And I'm like, fine, do it. I don't care. I'll create a new Instagram account and not use Meta or whatever else. It's absolutely ludicrous. So they're trying to push this bullshit. So you got Meta doing it. You got Twitch doing it. Discord. They FA and FO'd, okay? So they've got all that. These companies keep pushing for this shit, and it's driving me insane. I'm telling you, as a community, we need to push back. We need to push back on these people, and we got to tell them, no, we have to fight back, and the only way we could do that is hurt their wallets.
You shall not pass!
You know what I mean? We have to push back. And the only way that we could do it is through their wallets, because these corporations are a bunch of slimy bastards, every single one of them. And we will get into that later when it gets to Microsoft. And I'm telling you right now, they're not out for your best interest. They're not your friend. They're not trying to make your life better. They're just trying to make themselves richer at your expense. And as a result of that, they're taking away your freedoms, your privacy. Maybe not freedoms, but certainly your privacy. They're giving away your privacy to people that are there for, again, other nefarious reasons in order to make more money for themselves and leave you in the dust. And you're basically leaving you vulnerable to all the thieves out there in the world, all the hackers, all the online thieves, and all that kind of, and all the pirates and all that kind of stuff. And they're all out there just waiting like sharks in the water. And this is the kind of stuff we need to stand together. We need to stand together against this bullshit. So in a very nice way, I literally told Meta, I responded to them in email. I told them, I said literally 3 words. I said, go fuck yourself. And that's exactly what I said to them.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
That's right. The cream will always rise to the top, folks, and that's us. Okay? We have the power. I know it sounds like a civil rights speech I'm doing right now, but I'm being dead serious. We have the power over these companies. And the reason why is because we don't have to spend our money on them if we decide not to. I'm sure some of them can angle us in a direction where they'd be like, well, we could cut you off from this, that, and the other. For people who actually work in those industries, like me, for example, I work for Google, essentially, right? I work for Google. I'm on YouTube, and Google is my boss, essentially. So they can kind of angle me in one way or another, but they have to be careful the way they do it because they have to tiptoe around it. Notice how Google hasn't said anything about this? They haven't said anything about this because they damn well know that without us, their bread and butter is gone.
It's all part of the plan.
You know what I mean? But either way, that's the story. Okay, so it's breaking as of today. What's up, Yami Judai? How you doing, buddy? Ahmad, how are you? I see some new names in this chat. That's what I'm talking about. Ahmad, you're saying, oh yeah, a lot. What do you mean? What's up, Seth? How you doing? Josh? By the way, go check out Josh Duckwall's channel. It's a lot of fun, man. Go check it out. Josh, drop a link in the chat, buddy. Go right ahead. I'm all about promoting other people's channels and content creators and all that kind of stuff. I want you guys to get there, man. Come on, man. We raise you up. We all raise each other up, man. What's up, Eternal Shaddai? How you doing, buddy? So anyways, that's the story with Discord. So Discord backed off. However, Twitch and Meta have doubled down on the situation. But again, it's the kind of thing where I'm just like, what are you guys doing, man? So one company says no, two companies say yes. I mean, this is the kind of thing that we're going to have to continuously keep an eye on and not let them bully us, right? And like I said, let them find out. Let them find out when people start walking away, because Discord certainly did. And when they started looking at the numbers, they went, oh, Nikes.
What an idiot.
You know what I mean?
Oh, what a loser.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
But either way, I just like to tell everybody in the chat, be vigilant. Okay, be vigilant and keep an eye on what's going on out there, because they're all trying to push it, and don't let them push you an inch. That's all I'm trying to say. Guerrilla Tactics, Wolverine will not be on PC Day 1. That is not in the policy of Sony. Actually, let's get into the Wolverine talk right now before we get into the Microsoft stuff. So anyways, let's get into Wolverine. So Wolverine. No, it will not be on PC Day 1. Most other games that are going to be coming out is that Sony's game plan and their business strategy has not changed, and at least for the foreseeable future into the next generation and most likely beyond, it is not going to change beyond that. Now, we've also heard over and over where people are saying up and down that they do not believe, which is fine. Everybody's entitled to believe whatever they want. When they say that no, it's not true that Sony is backing off some of their PC ports. I can assure you that it absolutely is. Now, it's not stopping. No one said it's stopping, but they are reevaluating the situation. And people say, well, they made $1 billion in 5 years. And I'm like, weighing that out in comparison to what they're actually making on the console, plus the console sales and more eyeballs on the PlayStation Store, far outweighs any impact it has on the PC. So PC will still get ports. They will be coming out at a slower cadence, not a faster cadence, a slower cadence, in order to focus more on what's actually making them a lot of money, which is the Sony PlayStation platform. It is helping Sony immensely. Now, Sony has, of course, many different departments. There's something I'm going to tell you guys tonight, which I'm not allowed to give you details, but I will give you a little bit of insight from someone I spoke to in the distribution part of Sony. And what they have done is, I know people have questions about prices for next generation and for the rest of this generation. They're like, well, how is Sony, how is everybody else raising their prices? Nintendo Switch 2 plans on raising their price. Nintendo plans on raising the price for the Switch 2, and that will be happening sometime this year in 26. Xbox has already done so. Most likely will raise the prices again, but that's not guaranteed. That's not been said. But either way, I would suspect it. But somehow Sony is maintaining the same price, and everybody's wondering, how the hell are they doing it? Well, I have a little bit of insight, and I thought this was an interesting one. The insight is as follows, is that, like I said, I can't get into specifics, but what they did is they have, how can I word this without getting somebody in trouble? But it's important to get the information out. They're taking a different one of their tech brand lines, and they're backing off on the distribution and the production of that particular brand line. And what they're doing is that they're utilizing those parts in order to continue to keep the price down for the PlayStation 5 and building the PlayStation 5 consoles. Does that make any sense? I'm trying to be as vague as humanly possible. I know it sounds stupid, but it's just something that's out there, and I thought it was very interesting, and I'm like, that makes a whole lot of sense as to how they're able to keep those prices the same. So, there is that. Back to Wolverine. Wolverine. September 15th, that's a Tuesday, of 2026. It's almost exactly what we had said. I think a lot of us in the chat believe that, and I think we already knew that, and I kind of guesstimated around the second week of September, which would have been perfect, and I was pretty much bang on. I'm not trying to blow smoke up my own ass. I'm just saying I was pretty much bang on with that, and it turns out it's the 15th. Now, the thing that I have a problem with is not so much that. I'm ready to rock. I already got it pre-ordered, ready to go. I'm like, day one, It'll be right here on this channel, folks. There will be no waiting. The minute that game comes out, we are all playing. I'm going to be playing it here. We all can watch it or whatever. And I'll be doing that, streaming it live. Now, that being the case, the other game that Sony has coming out in the third quarter of 2026 is Phantom Blade Zero. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. You got 2 exclusives. Maybe Phantom Blade Zero may not be exclusive, forever. It'll be a timed exclusive, whatever, and eventually come to PC and to Xbox. However, this is the problem I've been pointing out from day one. The problem is someone's going to get Titanfall 2'd, all right? And it sure as hell ain't going to be Wolverine. People will prioritize, and this is what I talked about in my video today, people will prioritize their purchases. And what I mean by that, they say, okay, I have X amount of dollars, and X amount of dollars means I can buy whatever, 3 games in the fall, right? And what are they going to do beyond that? That customer is now going to say, okay, this is what I can justify this fall from September to November. 3 games I'm going to buy. And what are they going to do? They're going to look at the games and they're going to say, okay, there's a whole bunch of games here. We'll talk about those games in a moment. You got Wolverine. They're going to probably prioritize that, right? You got Call of Duty, especially the casuals, right? A lot of casuals are going to buy Wolverine. A lot of casuals are going to buy Call of Duty. That's usually how it goes. And the number 1 game, obviously, is going to be Grand Theft Auto 6. Okay? So now you're looking at those 3 games. What's going to suffer? Phantom Blade Zero comes out 6 days before Wolverine. It almost feels like, to me, it just feels like it's basically going to be thrown to the wolves. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's basically thrown to the wolves. You're going to have hardcore gamers will buy that game. It may do very well in China as well. In China. It may do very well in China. Sorry, I got to do it now.
Do not come.
China.
Do not come.
I'm going to come. I had to do it. As soon as I say China, I always think of the accordion hands of the president. It just makes me laugh every time. I love it. China. So it may do very well in China. Okay, it'll do okay over here. However, when people know that Wolverine is 6 days away, people will wait. They're not going to rush out and spend. For me, it's $100, right? It's $100 Canadian for a game. Never mind Australians, never mind the UK, and then of course, United States has generally, actually from what I see, the United States has the best price, of $70. So that being the case, people will wait for Wolverine, and therefore they'll say, you know what? I'll wait for reviews on this Phantom Blade Zero. If it does all right, I'll wait for a deep sale, maybe on Black Friday, maybe on Boxing Day for Canada, the UK, and Australia. We have Boxing Day over there. I know the United States doesn't really do Boxing Day. It's December 26th for anybody who doesn't know. And so they'll wait. Now, my suspicion, I have no confirmation of this yet. My suspicion is that you've got Call of Duty is going to drop in October this year. There's no way that it makes any sense to drop Call of Duty in November with GTA 6 breathing down its neck. And the thing is, people say, well, Mag, one's an open world RPG, action RPG, whatever the hell you want to call Grand Theft Auto, and one's a shooter. It's 2 totally different things. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if one is My Little Pony and the other one is a first-person shooter. It doesn't matter. The point is Grand Theft Auto is going to take away everyone's attention. Maybe not everybody, but certainly a lot of people. And as a result of that, shooter or no shooter, different genre or different genre, it will not make a difference. People will automatically drive their attention to Grand Theft Auto 6, therefore pulling attention away from Call of Duty. And Microsoft, I can tell you right now, absolutely cannot afford another Call of Duty bomb. They cannot swallow another disappointing entry in the Call of Duty series. And I'm not talking about the quality of the game before everybody gets their titties in a twist. I'm talking about financial success, not critical success. Okay? They've already had Modern Warfare 3, which they kind of adopted. That didn't do great. All right? Black Ops 6 did do great. And then Black Ops 7, in one way or another, it made money, but not the money they wanted. So essentially, it was a flop. You could call it a flop. It's exactly what it was. So therefore, they cannot afford that. Call of Duty has to drop in October. All right? It has to drop in October. So now you've got Phantom Blade 0, 6 days later Wolverine, presumably a month later Call of Duty. People are going to wait. And they're going to say, I'm going to get Wolverine because it's Wolverine. Like, let's get serious. It's Insomniac Games, it's Marvel, it's Wolverine. Like, what else do you want, right? And it's bloody and it's gory and it's going to be awesome. It's Insomniac Games. They don't miss. They're like Robin Hood. Not only do they hit the one arrow in the bullseye, they shoot the other arrow and it splits the other arrow. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way it's going to be. I fight for Robin Hood. Loxley. Like, how amazing was Alan Rickman as Sheriff of Nottingham? That's my wife, Loxley. I mean, he was amazing in that movie. Go see it if you haven't seen it. It's from the 90s, okay? I know it's a long time ago. Kevin Costner with the worst British accent you ever heard in your entire life. Hilarious. You got Morgan Freeman as the Moor, and then, of course, you've got Alan Rickman as, Sheriff of Nottingham. I almost said Sheriff of Rottingham because I keep thinking of Robin Hood Men in Tights. It makes me laugh every time. I almost called him that, but yeah. I'm gonna cut your half out with a spoon, Loxley. Yeah, anyways, go see it. The point is Insomniac doesn't miss, okay? So therefore, people are going to wait for that. People will prioritize Call of Duty as well, right? And then they're going to prioritize, a month later, they're going to prioritize Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, the average gamer purchases 2.6 games a year. Therefore, by buying those 3 games, they're already over their presumed budget for the entire year. This doesn't include sports games like your Maddens, your college footballs, and then here comes Microsoft Gaming with the B-52 bomber or whatever, and just carpet bombing the living shit out of the fall. They've got Gears of War E-Day. They've got Fable in there as well. Then on the PlayStation side, not the Xbox side, because Xbox and PC will be playing it in May, they're going to be dropping Forza Horizon 6 in the fall as well. So now that I've presented you all this information, which we've talked about before, but now we've got a solid date for Wolverine, where the hell do you put all these other games? I'm telling you, I would put Call of Duty in October. Now that you got a date for Wolverine on the 15th, Call of Duty in October, Grand Theft Auto 6 in November. I would put, hear me out, and of course Halo's going to come out in the summer. It's going to come out in June most likely. Okay? Most likely, not guaranteed, but most likely. I would put, this is what I think. I think you drop, now that you've got a date of September 15th for Wolverine, I say you drop Gears of War E-Day in the 3rd week of August. At least it gives you 3 to 4 weeks before the release of Wolverine. That's what I would do. And you're keeping it away from your own IP. You don't want to cannibalize your own IP. That's ridiculous. Right? Like, for example, Microsoft owns Gears of War and Call of Duty. Yes, one's a third-person shooter, one's a first-person shooter, but they both have online experiences that are going to ask the fans to play on a regular basis, right? You can't do both at the same time. Well, you can do both at the same time, but it would be stupid. One is going to get cannibalized over the other. That's just the way I see it. So I would put Gears of War in mid-August to maybe the 3rd week of August. That's what I would do. Now, where do you put Fable? I say you drop Fable as a Christmas release. Instead of fall or autumn of 2026, I say you drop it in December. Drop it in the 3rd week of December, right before the holidays, right? Kids are getting off school. A lot of people in the workforce like to take a week off or 2 weeks off during that time. Christmas is around the corner. Hanukkah's around the corner. Kwanzaa's right there. You got all these holidays in there. People will buy things and whatever. And you know what I'm saying? And it's a very festive time of year. It almost seems like a Christmas kind of game, doesn't it? That's what I would do with Fable. Piss off with this autumn stuff, because it's going to get lost in the mix. And like I said in my video earlier, someone is going to get Titanfall 2'd. However, this is all the information that we got, and I'm presenting you what I think is going to happen, or what I think should happen. But as each game gets a release date, this is going to make the conversation that much more interesting, because now, instead of us just celebrating, oh wow, look at all these games, now we're going to have to start wondering which one is going to suffer as a result of too much choice. That's what I got to say about that. And you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. You can't buy them all. You're not getting them all on Game Pass, and certainly can't buy them all. Yeah, you can have the subsect of people that will spend $700 and buy every single one of those games, or in the case of my American friends, closer to like $500 or $450 or whatever on all these games. But not everybody has the ability to do that. And the fact that the majority of people out there will not do that, some of these games are going to suffer. I personally think Phantom Blade Zero, of no fault of its own, I think that Phantom Blade Zero is going to be very popular in the Asian countries, and it'll do okay over here. But I think that's one of the games that's going to suffer. I want you guys to let me know in the chat. Put it in the chat and let me know what games you think might get overlooked as a result of too much choice. And I think that that's going to be a problem, and it's going to suck. But they will gain momentum into 2027. Let's face it, they will, because people will buy them on sale. There'll be a resurgence. You know what I mean? $10 off, $20 off, $30 off, whatever. They'll start getting these games at a cheaper price down there, and then the games will have a resurgence in sales. However, they will not get as many of those day one sales. So there is a lot of that. So it's just something to think about, guys. Just something to think about. But either way, before we move on to the next topic, I just want to catch up with some super chats here. And we've got Scott Gamer Dude coming flying in. There he is. Scott Gamer Dude drops a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. And he says, for $10, he said, wouldn't this be funny? Microsoft separating gaming division, then Phil and Sarah took over that division. Whomever I know a fantasy here, but wouldn't that be funny? Yes, it certainly would be hilarious, Scott Gamer Dude. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you, my friend. And thank you for all the support tonight, dude. You've been making it rain over here. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then right off of that, we've got Eternal Shaddai coming in. He gets a rare achievement for $20. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you, Eternal Shaddai. He goes, yeah, here for you to promote Good Morning Xbox with Axel, Terry, Fastback, and me. When are you visiting us? Thank you, Eternal Shaddai. And go check out Good Morning Xbox with Axel, Terry, Fastback, and Eternal Shaddai. Go check them out. And you know what? Because it's called Xbox, you get an Xbox Rare Achievement. Here you go. Here you go, Eternal Shaddai. Thank you so much for that, brother. Go check out their show, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know where to find it. And most of the times I'm not available to do it is because I'm usually passed out face down naked on the floor somewhere when you guys go live. Okay, Shaddai, that's exactly why. But I'll make a rare I'll make a rare exception. I'll show up in your show totally hungover and looking like hell, and I'll be like, "Good morning, Xbox. How you doing?" Yeah. I'll be kicked off immediately. Thank you so much, Eternal Shaddai. I appreciate you, brother. And El Nini comes in and drops a $20 super chat. Let's go. Thank you, El Nini. I appreciate you, brother. He drops a $20 super chat. And he says, happy Resident Evil 9 release week. Oh, my God. I'm ready to drive Leon's Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT. Absolutely, my friend. Oh, my God. Now, listen. I did not get the Porsche pre-order bonus thingamabobber or whatever the hell it is, so that you could buy the Resident Evil Porsche for like $130,000. But you know what? Now I'm $20 closer because of El Nini. There you go. Thank you so much, El Nini. I appreciate you. And yes, Resident Evil Week is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. It is upon us. Thank you guys so much for the donations. Greatly appreciate it. And, Highlander Grim, get out of here. Why do you say this?
Why do you say this to me? When you know I will kill you for it.
That's right, Highlander Grim.
The meatloaf! Fuck!
Yeah, Highlander Grim drops a $2 super chat and says, let's go Dodgers. Listen, man, just because the spring training's going on, Dodgers ain't going to do nothing this year. I'll tell you right now, the Blue Jays look hot already. They got some great pitchers. They got some great batters. And, of course, they have the existing team. And my cousin's already there. The doctor, anybody knows the doctor. He's already down there in Florida, and he is currently watching in Dunedin. He is watching the baseball right now, the spring training. Yeah, absolutely. And so, we will see and we will show you that the Blue Jays will be winning the World Series this year, and the Dodgers will be watching at home because they will not make the playoffs.
Yeah!
Get out of here with all of that.
What an idiot!
Yeah.
Oh, what a loser!
Stupid fucking game. Stupid fucking game.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you so much, Highlander Graham. I appreciate you, brother. And right off that, we got McLovin. There he is. McLovin comes in, dropped a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you, McLovin. He says, just got done at my daughter's performance. Time to drive home. 1.5 hours. I'll be listening in, though. Have a great stream. And thank you so much. And drive safely, McLovin. Appreciate you, brother. Get home safe. And definitely don't listen to this podcast with, like, the picture on, okay? You don't need to be looking at this ugly face and then, drive off the road or something silly like that. Just get home safe, all right? But thank you so much for the $5 super chat, brother. I appreciate you. And look at this guy. Eternal Shaddai comes in. This guy comes flying in. Eternal Shaddai drops another $20 super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you. Listen. Thank you so much, Eternal Shaddai. And for 20 United States dollars, once again, he says, the game that will be overshadowed will be Clockwork Revolution if it comes out this year. It will not be coming out this year. I assure you that. However, let me finish the super chat. Laugh out loud. You have done it even before, even when you sounded like a mummy with Noof in the past. That is true. And actually, speaking of which, I will be doing a show this Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. It's only 1 hour, and I will be sitting down with Noof Nukem. He asked me about 3 weeks ago, and I will be doing a show with Noof Nukem, and it's Crazy About Gaming, and the two of us are going to sit down and talk. My old friend, and I got to tell you, man, Noof Nukem is the one who actually got me into YouTube. So for everybody who hates me, you can blame Noof Nukem. There you go.
There is a great disturbance in the Force.
That's right. The great disturbance was me.
I felt it.
There it is. Thank you so much, Eternal Shaddai. I appreciate you. And to answer that question once again, Clockwork Revolution is absolutely not coming out in 2026. It has been internally delayed. It's not externally delayed. Colt Eastwood said the same thing. It is internally delayed and pushed out into next year, which makes a lot of sense at the end of the day. They've got too much shit coming out. And in fact, if I were a gaming company or a publisher, I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't even release any games in the first quarter of 2027 at all. Zero. You know why? Because all the games that people didn't purchase in the fall, they're going to be purchasing them around the holiday season or shortly after or whatever, Boxing Day, like I said before, and get those deals on those games. And they're going to be purchasing those games and playing them at the 2027. Ain't no way when you've got a cascade of madness coming in the fall that people are just going to be jumping on a new game in January. Not a chance in the world. So in fact, if I had a game coming, I wouldn't even look until quarter 2 of 2027. Give the gamers some time to breathe. Otherwise, your product is going to suffer financially because you can't buy them all. You know what I'm saying? So Clockwork Revolution was definitely one of the ones. It got delayed into 27, so there is all that. Alex is asking me in the chat. He says, Mag, should I get Requiem on PC or PS5 Pro? I don't really think there's much of a difference between the Pro and the PC. I know that the PC guys are literally just like, their balls just exploded when I said that. The only difference that I've heard about on the PC mode, I may be wrong, PC guys, let me know in the chat, is that the PC mode has unlocked frame rate. That's all I heard. I mean, that's all I heard. That's all I heard was the difference between the two. So we shall see. But Cybercut, don't get into this list. Let go Dodgers bullshit, okay? All right, it's not happening.
Yeah! Fire!
I'll tell you what. The Blue Jays, on the other hand.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah.
That's right. World Series champions. Dodgers watching at home. Ohtani with his stupid little dog. And your little dog, too. He's going to be sitting on the couch crying, eating sashimi, going, wiping his tears with $1,000 bills. I didn't make my World Series payoff. With his stupid little dog sitting on his lap. All right? Okay, see Dominic in the chat. There you go. See, Dominic is a representative of, I would say, about 90% of gamers out there. Okay? He says, my wallet definitely has a bottom. Yeah. Most people do, dude. Most people do. There are very few people that are going to go out and buy every single one of those games. Very few. And the thing is, most of those games I will be playing here on the channel. But the donate, and I told you guys this before. I'm not, like I said, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass either, okay? I tell you guys the truth. I always have. I always will. Every donation that comes to this channel, I don't pocket that shit for myself and like, go buy myself a nice sweater or something. You know what I mean? Or like go out in the town with a bunch of, with a group of guys and be like, here guys, and just, throw money. Look at this. I got this from the YouTube channel. No, it doesn't work that way. Anything that I get that I get donated to this channel goes directly back into the channel as an investment. If you saw my setup a year ago compared to what my setup is now, you would be absolutely blown away. I should have taken a before picture. Absolutely. I might have an old picture. But like all that stuff goes back into the channel. New monitors, 3 of them. New camera, as you can see. When I was talking earlier and a giant ball of fucking snot came out of my mouth and landed on the microphone and looked like, yeah.
Do not come.
You know what?
Do not come.
I'm gonna come. You know what I mean? So like all that goes in the channel. The studio lights, the setup, the stuff on the walls, the lighting system, the desk itself, the audio interface, the microphone. All this stuff goes back into the channel. And then on top of that, I get people who donate and buy games or whatever for the channel as well. And guess what? I stream every single one of them. I don't just sit there and go, yeah, thanks, bro, and then turn off the camera and then just, play privately or whatever. I make sure that all those games all get streamed on the channel so that people can either A, join me if it's a multiplayer game, which a lot of people in the community have. A lot of maggots out there have joined me for that. And like Battlefield and Call of Duty, stuff like that, right? And we've done all those things. I've also done Reanimal. I did that with That Blue Number. By the way, go check her out. She's such a lovely young lady. I played Reanimal with That Blue Number last week. I played Little Nightmares with my daughter, Borderlands with my family, like all kinds of stuff, So we get it out there. So for me, it's more of an investment in the channel. You know what I'm saying? So like when Gears of War comes out, I will be playing Gears of War. I might balk on Phantom Blade 0 unless it's got like a 9 out of 10 and it's almost impossible to overlook. But Wolverine, day 1, Call of Duty, day 1, GTA 6, day 1, Fable, day 1. You know what I'm saying? Like these games are all going to be day 1 and I'm going to be doing them all on the channel. Of course, I'm going to have to put streamer mode on GTA 6 because I don't need Bryan Adams blaring and then all of a sudden I get demonetized instantly. So I'm going to put streamer mode on for that game. But you know what I'm saying? Like these are all things. But I'm talking about the average consumer out there. Like, for example, Dominic. This is my job. So being part of my job, having to invest into my job, obviously it's my passion too, but because I'm investing in my job as well, that benefits not only the community, it benefits me, well, it benefits all of us, right? So that I do that. That's a little different. But we're talking about the actual consumers out there. And what Dominic said absolutely makes sense. Itchy out there in the chat, by the way, you have a hilarious name, dude. I love it. Itchy out there, he says, I can buy them all. I just can't play them all. Well, there's another thing. A lot of people are going to say those things are going to be like, hey, a lot of people can say, I can afford all this, but I don't have the time to play all this. So it's kind of madness. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of that out there. So there we go. Anyways. Mohammed, yes. We're going to talk about Xbox well, pretty much now because I think we've talked about everything. Oh, have a good night's fun speculation. Go check out Mav's channel, ladies and gentlemen. He's a stand-up dude. He's a good guy, man. Go check it out. Thank you for stopping by, brother. I appreciate you. See what happens? Fun speculation runs as soon as the Xbox topic is about to come up. You coward. You coward.
No! Fuck!
Oh, my God. And Seth Monster comes in and drops a $5 super chat. There you go. Thank you so much. It goes a little something in for Maggie and something for a keen-eyed maggot, Steam. And he drops a code in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. There you go. Thank you so much, Seth Monsters, for the $5 super chat, brother. And sorry, I haven't been around to talk to everybody over the last week or so. I was not only sick for 11 days, then on top of that, I left for 3 days out of town. So I kind of was like in and out. So if I don't think I ignored you. So if I didn't get to talk to everybody right away, it wasn't because I was ignoring you, okay? It was because I just couldn't get to everybody. So there's a lot of that. So anyways, let me know, guys. It's a Steam code. So whatever that Steam game is, whoever got it, let me know who got it in the chat, okay, ladies and gentlemen? Tell me right now. And oh my goodness, my Guinness, we actually know what it is. Seth Monsters just bought Arc Raiders for somebody in the chat. There you go, little birthday gift. Little birthday gift from Seth Monsters. Thank you so much. And this is all about the community, man. We're giving stuff back. So let me know in the chat who got it. Arc Raiders has been dropped. The code has been dropped for from Seth Monsters in the chat. And whoever did it, tell me you got it in the chat. And thank Seth Monsters for doing so.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
Hey, the Great Wall got it. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. All right. The Great Wall got it. I was actually able to get it. There you go. Okay, so now, Great Wall, congratulations on getting a copy of Arc Raiders courtesy of Seth Monsters. There you go. So, who wants to talk about Xbox? Who wants to talk about Xbox? Anyone want to talk about Xbox? Because there's a couple things we got to talk about. A couple things we got to talk about tonight. You know what we're going to talk about? Jez Corden, just before the show, actually dropped an article because he had a sit-down interview with well, I don't know if it was a sit-down interview or it was most likely on the whatever. But I don't know. Maybe they flew him out. Who the hell knows? But either way, he dropped an article, an interview with Ashish Sharma, as a matter of fact. And apparently Matt Booty, although I didn't see Matt Booty say anything in the article, but we are going to comb through that article and we're going to talk about it, folks. We are going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. However, we're going to do something. It's my birthday. So you know what we're going to do for my birthday? We're going to drop 5 gifted members from me. There you go. I just sent 5 gifted members out to the chat right now. And you know what? Because I'm completely out of control, and like I said, it is my birthday. What the hell? Let's send another 5 out there. I sent out 10 gifted members to everybody, to people in the chat right now. Whoever got them, let's see. Oh, look at all these people. Oh.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. I dropped 10 gifted members for my birthday. There it is. So for all the new channel members, as is tradition around these parts, ladies and gentlemen, you have to say this.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
You are a maggot now. There's no turning back. You have no choice. But either way, here it is.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
Welcome to hell, and welcome to it. And Seth Monsters has already said, new members, get in the members Discord, please. And, of course, my moderators out there, please do me a favor if you don't mind. Send out. There it is. The Great Wah is already on top of it. The link to the members Discord is right there in the chat, folks. And let me see. Alex says, wow, this is the first time I see a streamer dropping gift memberships. This is the first. No. Reforge Gaming does it. He does it he does it for like every 20 people that whatever he'll gift one, or then and then every 20 after that he'll gift another, that kind of thing. So he does do that. Reforge does it. However, it's my birthday, so I dropped 10 and I don't give a shit. That's what we're doing today. So new members out there, welcome to hell. And of course, go check out that Discord. The Discord community is absolutely amazing. And on top of all that, let's not forget that Discord has walked back their dumb-ass bullshit fuckface policy of putting people's IDs, pictures, and all that stuff to give away to their little advertisers and all that crap. It is over. The gamers have won. Don't ever go over our heads again.
You fucking warned. Don't ever go over my fucking head again. You motherfucker, you.
That's right. You hear that, corporations? Let me say it one more time. Put my chest out when I say it.
You're fucking warned. Don't ever go over my fucking head again. You motherfucker, you.
Thank you, Joe Pesci. Thank you. Thank you. So anyways. Romeo, how you doing? Delayed to the summer? I heard that they walked back the policy entirely. Maximilian does. Hey, J Silver, how you doing, man? He goes. Maximilian does it though. All right, cool. That's cool. I like to see people get back to the community, man. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, Daniel? How you doing? Funky Playbox. I try to get to everybody here, but you know how it is. Okay, listen. Enough bullshit. Sorry, I had to go wild there for a second with my little with my madness. However, we got to talk about this new breaking news, okay, so to speak. And before we do that, hold on, let's just catch up already. McLovin drops in. The man is driving his car. The man's a wild man, and he gifts another 5 members to the chat. There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
But the cream rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much, Seth. Seth Monsters. My God, I had Seth Monsters on the brain. I just saw his name. McLovin, thank you so much for the 5 gifted members, brother. I appreciate you dearly. And listen, to all the new members out there, make sure, whether it was from me, whether it was from McLovin, whether it was from Scott, and everybody else that gifted members, make sure you thank them in the chat. Go check out the Discord. The link for the members Discord is in there. The community is absolutely banging out there. Go check it out. And for those new members, as always,
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
there you go. Welcome to hell. Welcome to hell. No, we don't play fanboy games here. That's for losers. No, why? Why? We're grown-ass men.
What an idiot!
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, what a loser!
It's stupid.
What an idiot!
Stupid fucking game.
What a loser!
Stupid fucking game. Stupid fucking game. Stupid fucking game.
Thank you, Furio. I appreciate that. Okay, enough horse shit. Let's talk about Xbox. We got some things to talk about. So, what happened about 2 hours ago? About 2 hours ago, about an hour before I went live, I noticed that that Jez Corden had dropped a new... No. Windows Central here. It's not Jez. Is it Jez? Maybe it is Jez. Might be. By the way, I'm not going to pop it up on the screen. I hate that shit. Because every time someone pops an article on the screen, I get it. Like, you're doing it, like, for the visual flair. But, like, every time I'm sitting there, maybe because I'm old, I can't read it. So I'm like, why is it even on the screen? I can't even read what it says. It's like the smallest print of all time. I can't see what the hell it's saying. So I'm like, there's no point putting it on the screen. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Kenta? How you doing, bud? Bobby? Ghost Fixer.
Welcome to
Rip.
hell.
Rip, you've been hilarious in the chat tonight, by the way. I'd like to point that out. Oh, it is Jez. Okay, there you go. Thank you very much for the clarification. Because I saw a sub-article written by somebody named Adam Hales. And I'm like, who the hell's Adam Hales? I thought everybody was gone from Windows Central except for Jez. I'm like, did this guy get in there?
Welcome to hell.
The Booty Man is in the article. Okay, well, there it is. Okay, so now this is what's going to happen. We're going to go through this article, and then we're going to either agree, disagree, or be neutral on exactly what was said in this article. So let's go through it right now. The headline of the article says, Xbox CEO Asher Sharma explains, quotes, return to Xbox stating, quote, Xbox starts with console in our interview. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a do you believer or a complete bullshit meter. All right, so... Yeah, Funky Playbox, he goes, my 50-inch TV can see it, you can put it up. Listen, man, why are you watching me on a 50-inch TV? You don't want to see this face in HD. I know I got the camera for it now, but that doesn't mean you should be. Listen, you don't want to scare your family, okay? Funky Playbox. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you got like a wife or kids or a girlfriend or just like roommates. I don't know what you got going on, okay? But if you have family out there, the last thing they need to do is to accidentally walk in the room and get the shit scared out of them by seeing this face in giant HD, this big, huge melon head sitting there, and they walk in, they go, oh my God! They're like, I thought you were watching The Conjuring or something. I just saw this horrific figure on the screen, maybe like the nun. And they're like, no, that's just Mag. He's just a bald idiot, talks a lot. Okay, so Matt in 4K, Mag in 4K is so cool. Thank you, Matt. Hey, Fuzzy Tomato, here you are, buddy. Oh, come on, Itchy, get out of here. He goes, I'm displaying this on my 75-inch Vizio. God damn it, you got it. That's a big TV. That's a nice TV, though. Scott Gamer, did you watch it on a 65-inch OLED? What are you guys, nuts? Turn it off. I mean, don't turn off the stream. I'm just saying turn off my face. Just watch it on your phone. That's what I do. I watch all these podcasts while I'm like taking a shower, shaving, brushing my teeth, cooking in the kitchen, getting stuff ready for the kids and all that stuff. What's up, Chuck? Chuck is on a 55-inch TV? Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's comb through this article, okay, before we get into there. Seek 32 LG monitor. Wow, you guys all watch these like on big. I have never done that. And you know what? That's something. You know what I'm gonna do after the show tonight, before I go to bed. I'm just gonna pop on a random podcast and put it on my TV. I got a 65-inch TV down here, and I got another one upstairs. So I'm gonna pop one on, and I want to see what a podcast looks like in a giant TV. The OA, he's here. Oh, Matt. He says, Mag in chat, Resident Evil 7, 8, and 9 preloaded on Switch 2. Oh, dude, I'm going to buy it tonight. I'm buying it tonight. I'm going to have them preloaded on the Switch 2, man. I am double dipping like a mofo. I'm getting it on the PS5 Pro, and I'm getting it on the Switch 2 as well. So I'm super excited. And I'm getting that Legacy Edition like you got. The 7, 8, and 9. Hell to the yes, baby. Let's go. It's Resident Evil week. Oh, by the way, speaking of Resident Evil, would you guys be interested? Now, someone asked me in the chat. I don't know if it was Cyber Gunter. It might have been Cyber Gunter. I'm not sure. Sorry, I saw that someone asked a question and I missed the name. The chat rolled by pretty quick. Someone asked what game you should play before Resident Evil 9. You should be playing Resident Evil 2 or even Resident Evil 3 actually, but one of the two. I would probably go with 2 because 2 mostly takes place inside the police department, which clearly is going to be a focus in this game as well for Leon. So I would think that Resident Evil 2 would be a good idea. Now, the only reason why you would say Resident Evil 3 is because at the end of Resident Evil 3, they literally drop a nuclear bomb on Raccoon City. Okay, so they literally nuke Raccoon City, and that leads into the events of Resident Evil Requiem 30 years later. So that being the case, you could go with either one. Now, I wanted to ask you guys before I get into, and of course the Resident Evil Village DLC, yeah, that as well. I want to ask you guys in the chat, would you be interested in me doing a bonus stream, like let's say tomorrow night for Resident Evil 2? Just to like a little bit of celebration just to catch us up on all that kind of stuff. I might do that. Anyway, let me know in the chat if you guys think that that's a good idea, because I would like to play it. Thursday night, I'm going to be on Mooch's show. I'm going to be on Crossfire for a bit, because he asked me to come on, and we're gonna do some chit chats about Xbox's future and stuff like that. And so I will be guesting on that show. So I can't do it Thursday, but certainly I could do something tomorrow. Now, that being the case, Friday, I'm letting you guys know right now before we get into this Xbox topic. Friday, I will be streaming the game all effing day. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in 2 parts, obviously, because I have responsibilities outside of streaming. I can't just sit there and stream on my couch with a pound of weed and like a bag of Doritos. I got kids and family. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stream in the morning, probably around, let's say 9:30 in the morning, something like that. And I'll stream into the afternoon, probably about 4 hours or so. I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to do part 2 in the evening at my normal time at 8 p.m. for Friday Night Live. So I am, well, let's do that. Hey, Cypher, how you doing, bud? La Pedro! All right, Ian Storm, get some rest, buddy. Thank you so much for stopping by, man. Well, Seek, I've been really doing a lot of the road to Resident Evil. That's what I've been doing. I played Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill F, Reanimal. I played Little Nightmares 3. I played the Resident Evil Village DLC. So I've done a lot of horror games leading up to Resident Evil Requiem. So I'm thinking I'm going to do that. I think we're going to do that tomorrow night. Oh, Bobby, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I know it can get negative sometimes. It's all going to be good. You're interested in a boner stream? Then go check out my Only Mags. It's called Only Mags, not OnlyFans. Only Mags. Yeah. Oh, yes. You know what, Alex? I am getting Pragmata because he asked in the chat, he goes, Maggie getting Pragmata. After playing the demo on I played it on all 3 systems. I played it on X because it's only 30 minutes, right? So I'm like, let me see how it runs on all 3 systems. I played it on the PS5 Pro. I played it on the Xbox Series X, and I played it on the Switch 2. And let me tell you, on all 3 systems, the game ran flawlessly, including the Switch 2. And you know what? The game looks effing great, man. I really, really love the demo, and I'm like, you know what, Capcom, you sold me again. So I will be playing Pragmata first day on this channel without question. No shit, Chuck. Chuck Green got the Silent Hill F Platinum. Dude, that is tough. Unbelievable. All right, nobody actually answered me in the chat, so I'm probably just gonna go ahead and do the stream tomorrow. I'm gonna play Resident Evil 2 in the as a build up to Resident Evil Requiem again, because you'll see like the actual police department and Raccoon City in its full glory, so to speak, before the destruction of Resident Evil Requiem, right? So I think that might be a good idea. I'll do that Wednesday, and then maybe I'll play the game in a full run. I mean, I might as well just do a full run of the game on Wednesday, and then Thursday I'll be on Crossfire, and then Friday all day and all night I will be streaming Resident Evil Requiem. So I will be doing 2 of them. Chuck, we're going to get into that right now. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into this article. So, as it says before, Xbox CEO Ashish Sharma explains return to Xbox, stating Xbox starts with console in our interview. I'm not sure about that. Already, right away, that headline, and it's just what she said. Now, these are her quotes. It's not like, this is not Jez saying it. This is the quotes. It says Xbox starts with a console. They have literally spent the last 4 years pivoting away from that and building a business model around kind of phasing out the consoles because of their horrendous sales. I just don't see it. Like, I mean, I don't know. Do you guys? Yeah, this is the Jez article, Matt. Yeah, we're going to go through it right now. Mastermind, I got something for you. Here you go, buddy.
There is a great disturbance in the Force.
That's for you, Mastermind.
I have felt it.
Yeah, exactly, Seth Monsters. Define console. Console equals platform, says Rip. So, yeah, they've spent the last 4 years sort of not actively, like, it's not like they were actively trying to bury the console. It just didn't work out. The sales were not there. The sales, I mean, look at the, I mean, we don't have, this is not fanboy bullshit. This is, like, look at the numbers, man. Look at the numbers. Dropping down to 29%, to 30, minus 29%, minus 32%. Absolutely insane, right? It just didn't work out. However, a lot of that, and I talked about this last night on XNC with Colt, I said a lot of that has to do with their absolute dog shit marketing and their messaging. And that's exactly what it is. Microsoft doesn't know how to market, and they don't know how to send out a clear, concise message to a consumer. And that is just a fact. It's just a fact. They suck at it. And as a result of that, what they do is they create a convoluted, confusing message to the consumer where the consumer just says, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to go buy a Switch. Or whatever. Fuck it, I'm just going to go buy a PlayStation. At least I know what I'm doing. I get the box, I buy a game, and that's it. None of this, whatever, all the other stuff. Oh, well, you could do it here, you could do it there. Like, I understand the intentions were good, and the intentions were good. They were good. But it didn't work out. And it didn't work out because you confused the customer. Not us. No! We're not us. We're the hardcore out here. We know what they were trying to do, what they were trying to say, and all that kind of stuff right now, right? You know, we know. But the majority of people out there who carry this industry, not the hardcore, the 85% casual, they carry the industry. And if they don't know what the fuck you're talking about, they're not going to buy your stuff. Okay? That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. If you give Johnny Six-Pack, okay, a very clear, concise message, he'll just go out and buy the thing that they know up until this point. You know what I mean? Don't mess around with it. Coca-Cola tried to do that in the 80s. The new Coke. New Coca-Cola, and it bombed. People just want what they want. They know what they want. They, you know what I mean? The same thing they want for like 100 years or whatever else. And Sony knows it, and Nintendo knows it. That's why they don't stray too far from their business strategies, because they know what works. Why fuck with something that's working? You know what I mean? And the problem is there's too many fingers in the pie at Microsoft where everybody's saying, well, what about this? 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 And they're all trying to do all these things. And once again, this harkens back to what I said at the beginning of the show, is that when people throw too much shit at the wall to see what sticks, nothing does. And then what happens is people walk away because they're like, what the hell is this mess? You know what I mean? Clear, concise messaging. Now, I will give her this. There's going to be, let me tell you something, folks. I'm just going to be very honest. There's going to be a lot of give and take with this, because these are just my feelings. There's going to be some things I'm going to agree with what she says and say, you know what? That's a good move. I like that move. And then there's going to be other times where I'm going to say she's full of shit. I don't mince words with anybody. She ain't flying me out to fucking LA. Okay? I could guarantee you that. She ain't going to follow me on Twitter. She ain't going to do none of that. None of it is going to happen. You know why? Probably because I'm not big enough. But I've been very critical of Xbox, more so than most people or whatever. And you know what? Justifiably so. Justifiably so. People might think that's why, well, you don't talk about Sony. Well, I do. If Sony does something absolutely ridiculous, like the Blue Point situation, absolutely ludicrous. What the fuck are you doing? Their live service experiment. What are you doing? Stick to what you know, man. Make AAA single player games and stop being idiots. If you want to do a multiplayer game, you should have got Blue Point to not only remake Bloodborne, which would have been absolutely like a $10 million, $15 million sale, or sales on that game. Killzone, you would have had your answer to Gears of War, and Halo to a lesser extent, and it had Blue Point making all that stuff. How fucking hard is that? Like, it blows my mind that these guys got 7-figure salaries and they don't know what they're doing. They're like a bunch of chickens with their heads cut off everywhere. It doesn't matter what corporation you go to. You go to Sony, you go to Nintendo. How do you fuck up Metroid Prime? I know some people liked it, but a lot of people did it, man. It did not do what they wanted it to do. How do you do that? It took you, 8 years? And you still couldn't get your shit together? And then Microsoft, well, we're going to talk about Microsoft now. Hence why Phil Spencer is out, Sarah Bond is out, and now we've got Asha Sharma in there. But there are questions. Let's get into this article. Sharma addresses speculation head on. That's a good start. Framing the return as a cultural reset rooted in surprise experimentation and a renewed commitment to console players and hardware. Okay, now, to be fair, by saying something like renewed commitment to console players and hardware just means nothing. That's a nothing burger. What that means is that you're saying, oh, well, we're going to still focus on a console. You're getting one. It's going to be expensive as balls, but you're getting one. So she's not lying. And, of course, the console players as well, which they're not lying because they're not doing that now. They're not getting rid of the console players. They're not ignoring the Xbox console players. So essentially what she just said there is not a lie. Right? That's not untruthful. They're doing that now. So that actually is nothing new. Xbox console players are not suffering. If you're already in the ecosystem, you got an Xbox and you're playing Game Pass or you're buying your games and there's a very vibrant community out there, whatever else. Microsoft hasn't done anything to hamper that. They've raised the prices, but they haven't ignored them. They haven't cut your services. You haven't gotten less. The only thing is that you're paying more for the same. So that's bullshit. But they're not ignoring you. So technically, from a corporate babble speak that these guys talk about, she's not lying about that. Okay? And hardware, not lying about that either because the hardware's still coming. However, I can assure you that the hardware's not coming from within. The hardware is going to be third party. So there's that. Now, let's dive deeper into this article, folks. Yeah, Matt, a lot of people did like Metroid Prime 4, but it didn't hit the numbers, man. It didn't hit the numbers. Roberto Marx has got it. He says, I'm going to buy $100 billion worth of publishers and rent all the games on Game Pass for $9.99 a month. There you go. Fuzzy Tomato, cut that shit. I'm telling you right now, a Bloodborne remake would crack 10 million easily. Easily. I don't know. I think so. Arrow Nation says SOCOM. SOCOM's another great one. Yeah, you're not wrong. Big Lupa. Big Lupa. I said that last night on XNC. He says Xbox hasn't had good marketing since Gears on 360. He's not wrong. The last great commercials I remember from Xbox was, you remember the lady who's giving birth and she fires out the kid and the kid goes flying through the sky and like he's playing video games or whatever, and then all of a sudden he turns into an old man and boom, and then he lands in the grave. And it's like Life is Short, game or whatever the hell it was. That was absolutely amazing. Okay, that was an Xbox commercial from 25 years ago, 24 years ago, whatever the hell it was. And like I said last night to Colt, you know damn well it's a good game, or a good commercial, excuse me. You know it's a good commercial when you're still talking about it 25 years later. You know what I'm saying? 25 years later, we're still talking about that commercial. The other one, It's a Mad World, whatever the hell it is, the Gears commercial from 20 years ago. People still talk about that now. You know why? Because when the Gears E-Day trailer dropped, what did everybody say? Everybody said, oh shit, this is like that Mad World commercial that they had for the 360. The fact that people remember that commercial 20 years later means the marketing worked. And the marketing was good for that game. Halo 2. I remember the Halo 2 commercials on TV where it shows like school buses and then these bombs coming and blowing buildings down like nuclear explosions and like school buses blowing away and people dying and shit. And I'm like, oh my God, this is serious. And that commercial rocked. The other commercial that rocked too was the Xbox 360 commercial for Halo 3. When they show the old man veteran and he's in like the museum and he's looking at like the ships or something, they're like, oh, this was the battle of so-and-so, and he's like standing there, it looks like he's about to cry, he's got a tear in his eye or whatever, and like a little kid comes up and all that kind of stuff and asks him a question or whatever the hell it was. And like that commercial was so impactful and so powerful. That's marketing. That's marketing. They could bring that marketing back. You've got yourself a situation. And that's what Asha Sharma should be focusing on. A lot of that, if she wants to be doing that. And if she says what the return to Xbox really means, we're going to get to that just a moment. But you want to focus on something, focus on that. Bring impactful commercials, because now you're no longer just selling the Xbox, you're selling the PlayStation, the market leader. And if you want the people in the market leader side of the board, okay, with almost 100 million consoles in the wild, wait till Wolverine, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 4, and GTA 6 drops. PlayStation is going to sell another 20 million consoles, maybe 25 million consoles this very year as a result of that. So therefore, you want their attention. If you want their attention, you've got to make bomb-ass marketing, advertising, side of buildings. You got to have like, not Master Chief. You have to have like Marcus Phoenix on like London Bridge, okay? You got to do serious shit like that. The opening game of the Dodgers home opener. You've got to have commercials on the big screen right across the thing for Fable or Forza Horizon 6 or whatever. Gears of War E-Day coming soon. Halo campaign evolved. You got to do that. You want to reach Johnny Sixpack? They're sitting at the ball game. They're watching TV at home with their friends, and you can't just be like, coming soon to PlayStation and Xbox. Here's Halo campaign evolved. Fuck off. You know what I mean? Make the commercials epic. The way Sony does. You know why Sony's commercials are so good? Is because they own Sony Pictures, a Hollywood studio. And as a Hollywood studio, they know how to make buzz reels. Because they literally own a Hollywood company. And as a result of having Sony Pictures and Sony Animation, they know how to make trailers. And they know how to advertise because they know the pizzazz that comes with Hollywood. And therefore, by doing that, their commercials are far more effective. Putting Spider-Man on the side of subways in New York City. Putting him up on the walls. All that kind of stuff. That's what they need to do. You want to do that? The first thing that I would say Asha needs to do is, if she's confident in the products of her games, the first thing that she needs to do is get more marketing budget. That's the first thing you got to ask for. And again, if Satya and Amy Hood, particularly Amy Hood, who's the CFO, doesn't want to give that money, well, then guess what? You've got to convince her and saying, well, look it's not just for Xbox. We're doing this for PlayStation. And all you have to do is bring up, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, Xbox, Game Pass, and PC. Of course you want that all out there, Steam and everything else. But you also you need those PlayStation players. You want to sell 5 million copies of something on the PlayStation on top of the Xbox Game Pass, on top of Xbox purchases, on top of PC? You want that? You got to advertise to that crowd. And you got to do it with pizzazz. And if you don't do it with pizzazz, it's going to be the same shit, different leader. That's number one. Now, before we get in the rest of this article, I just want to catch up on something about G-Mania coming in. He drops $5 Canadian. Thank you so much, my Canadian brother. And he says, just saw my pre-order for Resident Evil won't get here until Monday. What the fuck? Yeah! That sucks, dude. That's garbage. You know what, dude? Cancel that shit immediately. Dude, G-Mania, cancel it immediately. Right now. Cancel it. You know why? Go to GameStop and buy. I mean, you're in Canada. Go on GameStop and go buy the physical copy right there. Walk into the store. They're going to have them sitting right there on the shelf. Go buy them there. Tell Amazon to go fuck themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah!
That's what I would say. Call GameStop and say, I'm going to come. Thank you so much, G-Mania, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you, brother. And let me tell you something. Do that. Get out. Don't give Amazon your money if they're going to mess it up. Cypher says PR is king. Absolutely. Okay, so let's get back to this article. It says here, what return to Xbox really means. All right. When first appointed as CEO of Xbox, Sharma made an interesting comment that immediately sparked debate among fans. She spoke about a, quote, return to Xbox, a phrase that left many wondering what exactly she meant. Now, here's her quotes, okay? I want you guys to listen very carefully. I know I read fast and I speak fast, but I'm going to slow this down a little bit so we can all absorb this together, okay? For me, the spirit of return to Xbox, already by saying the spirit means you're not doing fucking anything. The spirit of return to Xbox is about returning to the spirit that the team was founded on. Okay, that's cool. I'll give you that. You got one negative, you got one positive so far. It's that spirit of surprise. It's the spirit of building something nobody else was willing to try. I've heard renegade, rebellion, and fun used. That's what I was thinking about when I wrote that. All right, I'm going to push back on that a little bit. She's got the right idea. Once again, got the right idea. But the problem here is this, folks. The problem here is that you still have to answer to your bosses. And your bosses have set parameters for your business. They're not going to let you run wild. Trust me, I know. I've been in the same position where you think I'm the boss, right? I'm the boss. Well, I was the boss. Now I left corporate. Fuck that. I left corporate. But I was the boss at one point. But even the boss has bosses. So when I go in there with all these lofty ideas 14 years ago, and I'm like thinking to myself, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to fix that. We're going to fix this. We're going to do this. And you know what? All the stuff I was coming up with was absolutely not brilliant. I don't want to sound like an asshole. But, I mean, it was actually stuff that would have worked. And then they're like, that's really wonderful. We hear you. But you're not doing that because you don't have the budget for it. And you're like going, fuck, come on, man. I'm like, I need 2 more staff here. I need this. I need that. I need this. And they're like, yeah, no, you don't get that. Not approved. We can't do that. That's not within the parameters of our business nor our budget, this and that. And then they're just going to keep funneling you and funneling you and funneling you. So all these lofty ideas are just a waste of time. And they're a waste of time because you still have, like I said, parameters that you have to work with it. And like I said, again, it's not gonna happen. So like, I like her ideas. She has the right ideas, but once again, it sounds like, as someone who's much older than her and has been in a similar position, not in a position that high, obviously, but been in a position, in a corporate position where I had to do that. I also had thoughts. I also had ideas. I also had visions of the future. However, they were all immediately slammed into the ground the minute the reality hit of budgets, labor restraints. You know what I'm saying? Red tape, endless red tape. That's how corporations run. That's how they work. It's never going to change. And Microsoft is no different. Okay? So unfortunately, I don't think that they're going to go through with that. That's just my thoughts. In other words, I'll continue here. In other words, she framed the return as more about the culture at Xbox, which isn't a bad thing. That is a good thing. That is a positive thing. Bringing that culture back. I think that the culture started to die off on Xbox somewhere halfway through the Xbox One generation, because I think that the Xbox One, even though it had a disastrous launch or whatever else, it still sold very well. Don't get that twisted. The Xbox One still sold well. And the first half, and I would like to say that the launch of the Xbox One was, to me, looking at it from the outside in, the Xbox One launch was better than the PS4 launch. They had the better games. They had the better exclusives at the start. They had the best third-party deals. Don't forget Tomb Raider, stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then things started to fall apart after about year 2. So about in the third year, I'd say about 2015 and on, things started to fall apart at Xbox, right? And so then Sony just fucking steamrolled them. And it's been that way ever since. But the thing is, they had the right idea. In the Xbox, the original Xbox, there was a core group. It was almost like it was like a cult following of Xbox because it was much smaller at that time, whatever. And it started to build this sort of like this cool vibe around it. They're like, oh yeah, man, Xbox is like that sort of indie cult vibe about it. And she's not wrong when she was talking about like the sort of renegade rebellion sort of vibe of Xbox. And that's exactly what it was. Even though it was literally surrounded by a scumbag corporation, but they still had the right idea of being sort of like the renegades of the industry, and she's not wrong. She's absolutely right. Asha Sharma is right in that respect. Now, the other thing is, the Xbox 360 is what went when they went from a cult to basically, in one form or another, global domination when it came to the mind share of the product. The fact that people were returning 2 or 3 consoles at a time because of the red ring of death and buying a fourth one or getting a fourth one and keep going back to the ecosystem means that everybody wanted to be there. And that's where Xbox really shined, however the hell you say it, in past tense. And that's when they were successful. That's how they were successful. They were getting timed exclusives. They were making new exclusives, new IPs that were just not just new IPs. They were making new IPs that everybody wanted. I was watching Die Hard with Live Free or Die Hard, excuse me, the 4th Die Hard movie. Excuse me. I was watching the 4th Die Hard movie, Live Free or Die Hard. And in that movie, it showed like a bunch of hackers at the beginning of the movie, and they're all hanging around their house or whatever, and then the terrorists blow them up. After they use them for whatever. Don't be a hacker, kids. The terrorists will blow you up. And they were all sitting around. This is in the movie. They're all sitting around playing Gears of War on the Xbox 360 in the movie. It had reached a fever pitch. It had reached the zeitgeist of the common folk. It had reached the ears and the eyes and the hearts and the souls of the casual community. Everybody was playing Gears of War back then. The fact that I'm watching a Bruce Willis Die Hard movie, and right there in the movie, as the camera pans around, it literally stops. You guys go check it out. It literally stops right on the screen, and it shows the 3 or 4 hackers all sitting there playing Gears of War on the Xbox 360. Right? That means that it hit the zeitgeist of common conversation. They haven't had that since. Halo 3, another one. I mean, I remember going to the Halo 3 midnight launch. There were like GameStop, and at that time they had a place called Future Shop. I don't know if they ever were in the US, but they were in Canada anyway. Future Shop was there. This is before Best Buy. Or before Best Buy came up here and basically took over. They had Future Shop, they had GameStop, which was called EB Games in those days. There were hundreds of people lined up at midnight outside in the parking lots of both those stores. And they were across the street from each other. And there were hundreds of people lined up all over. Cars everywhere. People honking. People cheering. People were cheering in line. And as you got closer to the doors, like to buy the game, like, they have those the big like open windows in the front or whatever, the stores with all the displays. Every single television was playing Halo 3 on it. So you could sit there and watch some of the gameplay of Halo 3 going on the big screens, like all the big TVs that they had right there in the display. And people were going batshit. Let me ask you guys a question in the chat. When was the last time an Xbox game gave you that kind of hype? I'm not going to wait for an answer, because if I wait, I'm going to die of old age. We all know. They need to bring that back. So when she's talking about that, she's talking about that culture of Xbox. That's what they need to bring back. And obviously, times change. We're not talking about midnight releases in stores. You don't have to do that. But you have to bring it back as an event. And the thing is, like I said, you are now also not just catering to Xbox and PC. You are also catering to the Switch, the Nintendo community, and the PlayStation community. As a result of that, you have to make this big. You have to make it big. And that's what I think the culture of Xbox has to be brought back. You know what I'm saying? Roberto Marx, cut that shit out in the chat. Hey, Big Boy Barry, how you doing, buddy? Hey, Big Boy, listen, man, I miss midnight launches too, brother. They were so amazing, man. Big Boy, I think my last midnight release that I went to was Grand Theft Auto 5. Actually, you know what, Romeo? You're not bad. You're not wrong. Halo 5 actually had some pretty cool marketing. They did. Cybergunter saying that he drove from Arizona back to California for the midnight release of Halo ODST. Yeah, man. Matt Rush saying Fear 2 was his last midnight release. Yeah, so like I said, obviously we're not going to do that anymore because in those days, remember, I would say in those days, I think that like 90%, if not above, were still buying physical games, right? That obviously has switched over time. And so instead of doing that, what you have to do is have sort of an evolution of a midnight release. Have a party. Rent out a nightclub. It's not like you can't afford it. Maybe Satya Nadella can take one less 3-star Michelin restaurant with him and his fucking buddies for $1,000 a person. Go rent a nightclub and have a big party. Go have a big Halo party. Do it in New York. How much could it possibly cost? Probably not less, probably about the same price as one of your corporate lunches where everybody's sitting around in some big circle jerk all congratulating each other about how much they're ripping off their customers. Instead of doing that, go rent a nightclub in New York City. In Toronto. Coordinate it. Do one in California, in Los Angeles. Do one in Los Angeles. Do one in New York. Do one in Chicago. Do one in Toronto. One in Vancouver. One in London. Have a huge midnight release party without actually releasing, like obviously you're not going to release the game like physically, whatever. Just have it there. And then you know what? When midnight drops, start showing gameplay on the screens. Whatever. Piccadilly Circus, Times Square. Do something. Because if you don't do anything, it's going to be the same old Xbox and the same old shit. And I'm not saying the games are shit. I'm saying the same old shit in terms of you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. You're not growing anything. You're not going to do that. You have to put this out there. And not only just say Xbox. You have to put Xbox. You have to splash PlayStation. All the names. So that the people walking around Piccadilly Circus can look up and go, oh shit, look at that. And then show clear as day that it's on Xbox, that it's on PlayStation, that it's on Switch 2, whatever console is going to be coming to. It's on Steam. Put it up there so that the average Joe who has a PlayStation doesn't look up and go, that's some Xbox game. They may not know. They may not know it's coming to PlayStation. So you got to advertise to everybody and make it clear as day. Asha Sharma, I know you'll never watch this show, but if you ever did, or if any of your interns watch this show, tell them to call me. Tell them to call me. I'll be the global hype man. I'll be the global hype man. And I'm not walking around with Xbox flags. I'm talking about for your games. You want to succeed? Put me in charge of that shit. I've been in the hospitality business for 30 years. I know how to entertain people. I have entertained politicians, prime ministers, presidents, professional sports players, Hollywood stars. I've done it all. You call me. I will show you what gaming culture, how to hype up a gaming culture and get people interested. I will show you. Call me. El Nini drops a $5 super chat and he says, good stuff, Mag. Thank you very much, my friend. All right. Let's go. Let's get this party started. Listen, man, I'm a hard pill to swallow sometimes. And the reason why is because God created his most unusual messenger with someone like me. Because not only do I tell it straight, which a lot of people don't like, I also say it in a very harsh way. That's just me. That's just the way I talk. That's just the way I am. It's the brutal realities of the situation. I have no love for corporates. None. But I play ball with them. I work with them. Not anymore, but I mean I can. And I've done so for a very long time. I know how to sit down and be pleasant and talk and do this and that, whatever. But I'm going to cut the bullshit and just say, listen, you guys suck at what you're doing, okay? I won't say that to their face, but I'll be like, listen, you ain't doing it right. Like, no corporate flowery bullshit, this and that. Well, we could focus on... Shut the fuck up. Say, listen, you guys want to make serious money? Cut the crap. Of course, I won't swear. You got to be nice because people get all offended. So we'll be nice about it. No swearing, okay? I can do that. I don't swear on XNC. You sit down and you tell these people straight to their face exactly what they're doing wrong and say, listen, you're doing it wrong. This is what's been happening. And you can't argue with me because just look at the last 13 years. Okay? Or, 12 years, 13, or coming up on 13 years. Look at the last 13 years. You had your chance. You had your chance. Marketing. You don't know how to do it. Your messaging sucks. Social media, when you've got a bunch of interns doing it for you, what are you talking about? Sarah Bond gets let go. She gets fired, okay? She's fired. She was fired, okay? She had her little team of interns. Why do you have a team of interns doing your social media? How long does it take you to sit down and write one tweet a day? You know what I'm saying? Just saying. Your messaging sucks. Asha seems to have a little bit more of a social media presence, but we don't even know if that's her. That could be a group of interns as well. Feeding all the information into an AI system so that they can analyze it later. That's exactly what I think is going on. But anyways, let's get back to the article. Dented iron.
Welcome to hell.
I want to bring that up. Dented Iron says something in the chat. He says, if investors and leadership will be okay with even a minor dip in profits for even a short time, they are going back to exclusives. No, they're not. That absolutely will not happen. Besides, the dips are too real. No, the exclusive's not going to happen. Yeah, Magnum, I did see the picture with her and Phil. Yeah, Phil staying on is like a little bit of period of time to like kind of guide her through like the finer details of being in the being in the business, so to speak, because she doesn't have any experience in that field. But the thing is, like, that's something I want to, before we carry on with the article, there's something else I want to address, is that like a lot of people are like, well, she's not a gamer. She doesn't have to be. I'll defend her in that. She doesn't have to be a gamer. She doesn't. She just has to be really good at business. A lot of these CEOs for these gaming companies and whatever, they're not gamers. They're just really good at what they do. They understand the business, and then on top of that, they apply their own their own experience in business, and then be able to amalgamate the two in order to have an effective business plan. That can happen. Like, anybody can do that. She doesn't have to be sitting there, gaming all day, playing Valheim or whatever the fuck she said. You don't have to be doing that. And not worry about her gamer tag and what she's doing and this and that. No, she just has to be good at her job. Because at the end of the day, she's there to produce. She's there to produce. Produce. Listen, Microsoft, I don't know what their plans are. I know there's some people some people out there saying, oh, they're going to, this is a step one of sunsetting the console. It might be. I said that to Cole yesterday. He was not happy about it. And I said, Cole, they might. You don't know. You can't say yes and you can't say no. Because you don't know. And I don't know. So I can't say they're doing it. You can't say they're not doing it. Both of us have to back off because we don't know what they're going to do. We're going to have to be in a holding pattern and wait and see what happens, because they just might do that. But I'm not going to sit out here and say, this is what they're doing. That's what they're doing. I can speculate. But even my speculations, I kind of internalize some of my speculations, because this could go any either way. You know what I'm saying? Like, this can go everywhere. We got RPG, a member for 8 months as a top-tier maggot. RPG, thank you so much for all your support, brother. You're amazing. And he says, for the top-tier maggot comment, he says, great plan. But let's try mine and maybe it won't suck. Well, what was it? What was it, RPG? Tell me your plan. I want to hear your plan. Absolutely, Dented Iron. Her being the head of an AI department is a red flag. Absolutely. What has Satya Nadella dumped $100 billion into? AI. And he is adamant about it. And let me tell you something, guys. I can tell you this right now. I could absolutely tell you this right now. I hate to burst your bubble, no pun intended, but the AI bubble is not going to burst. And you know why? Because the AI that everybody sees in the public is not the AI they're doing. That's not the AI they're investing in. That is just for fun. That is for whatever. You want to make Will Smith eat spaghetti? Go ahead. You want to have, you want to have, I saw that the other day. You want to have Donald Trump playing for Team USA on the ice, and he's body checking all the Canadians or whatever. Like, that's just for fun. The hundreds of billions of dollars that they've invested in AI is not that. Spoiler alert, more on that to come when I dig my fingers into more of what's going on. Because I'm having a unique opportunity to have an inside look at some, not Microsoft's, but some basically what the actual behind the scenes AI is doing. As a result of that, the AI bubble is not bursting. You're just not seeing, and I hate this sounds so arrogant for me to say it, but it's true. You're not seeing the actual applications of what they're utilizing it for. But when you do, you'll realize there's no turning back. And that will be the downfall of either it's either going to help us out or going to be the complete downfall of our society. One of the two. Certainly a lot of jobs. So Dented Iron, you're not wrong. So anyways. Magnum saying that take on selling ABK was horrible. Yeah, well, listen, they're not going to sell it. I kind of revised what I was saying. They're not going to sell it. They're going to scale it back. They're going to scale it back. However, let's get back to this article. I'm going to continue the quote from Asha Sharma here. She says, I think that our core Xbox fans and players have invested up to 25 years of themselves in these universes and our console. I want to make sure everybody knows I'm committed to Xbox. Okay? Starting with the console. That's interesting because it seems like the last 4 years, they have done everything in their power to get you off the fucking things. Not focus on it. So which one is it now? Is it going to be a drastic change in policy? I highly doubt it at this point. I think that they're still going to go with their accessibility option of like cloud, smart TVs, smart monitors, tablets, phones, handhelds, third-party handhelds, you know, that kind of thing. And then consoles there. PC is there, right? PC is another one. That will still be their focus because I think that that's where they're going to still see their markets. I don't see them doing that with console, considering now I can understand why she would attack that is because with a minus 32% in growth or lack thereof of growth of the console market, yes, that was something that as a new CEO, the first thing you do is you attack the weakest, you know, the weakest link and look at it and say, how can we make this better? Obviously. But here's the thing. I don't think that there's anything they can do. Because if they make this console, this Project Magnus that's coming out, what they say it's going to be, it is still going to be, regardless of what Sarah Bond said, she's absolutely right, that it's going to be it's going to be a boutique, curated experience, translation, extremely fucking expensive. And therefore, as a result of that, doesn't matter how much attention you put on it, people aren't going to buy it because it's too much money. And again, I'm not talking about the 5% of the 15% hardcore that are going to go out and buy it day one, just like, you know, the people who bought ROG Xbox Ally X for $1,000 or whatever. That's fine. You can go do whatever you want. And, you know, a lot of people in the chat bought it as well. Right? And I'm not going to fault you for doing it. You can buy whatever you want. But I'm just telling you, the 85% casuals are not going to spend upwards of $1,500 to 2,000 Canadian dollars on a new console. Not a fucking chance. Not a chance. They're not even buying the Switch 2s. I already told you guys that from day one when the Switch 2 showed their price. I said, you watch the Switch 2, at least for now, and definitely in the future because they plan on raising the prices, are not going to sell as well. And then what did Nintendo say? Their sales cooled over the holidays because of the price. And what was the number one? And Xboxes didn't sell because of the price. They bombed. What did sell like crazy during the holidays? Oh, let me tell you, the PlayStation 5. Why? Because it was on sale. Wake up. Wake up. Price is king. Focusing on a console means absolutely jack squat if you don't price it where the average consumer is willing to spend. So it doesn't matter what she says in that respect. Doesn't matter. You can focus on the console all day long. Let me read it again. I want to make sure everybody knows I'm committed to Xbox starting with the console. We're going to keep meeting players where they are. The world continues to evolve and change. That's fancy words of saying we're changing our policies. We're going to make sure Xbox is a great place for developers and players. Okay, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that statement. But if you're selling a console that could possibly be upwards of $1,200 to $1,500, which was projected internally, how is that going to change? How are you going to half that price? You can't. You're not going to. Yes, I understand the products are going to keep getting more expensive. Everything is. Like someone asked me last night, they go, what do you think the PS6 is going to cost? Right? And I said, no less than a PS5 Pro. Not a chance. I would say that the PS6 will be $750. Right? I don't expect it to be any less than a PS5 Pro. Why would they do that? It would just incrementally get higher and higher and higher as time goes on. But they do so in a way that's sort of palatable for people. And I mean, I'm not saying it's right, but they do it in a palatable way. But if you get a console that when the Xbox Series X launched, I bought 2 of them and a Series S for less than what it will cost for the projected price of a Project Magnus. 3 consoles for the price of what the projected price of the Magnus is. Okay, so put that in perspective for just a moment. So when you think about that, you could talk all day about how you're going to, meet the customers where they are. That's fine. You're going to focus on consoles. That's also fine. But how are you going to focus on that if you're charging money that 80%, 85% of people will not pay for? And like I said, you can see it time and time and time and time again. The least selling consoles are the most expensive. Oh! PlayStation learned that real quick in the PS3 generation. Yeah, go get another job if you want a PS3. Okay, fuckface. And then guess what? They started selling the consoles later in the generation when they were way cheaper, when you could get those big fat George Foreman grill ones for half price, or you could get them for free if you traded in 10 games at EB Games in those times. I got a PS3 for free at the end of the generation, and I bought a shitload of games for it. Like, that's when God of War 3 came out, The Last of Us came out, you know what I mean? Uncharted 3 came out. Like, all those games came out, and they were amazing. And I got the console for free. And I loved it. But at the beginning of the generation, who sucked at sales? Who sucked at sales? The PS3. Who was amazing at sales because it was priced cheap? The Xbox 360. And, of course, the software to go with it. So there's that, too. But we got 78 coming in with $10 in the chat. Thank you so much, 78 Inc. I love you, brother. And 78 Inc. says for $10 US, he says, man, I just need Xbox to get it together. The industry needs a healthy PlayStation, Nintendo, PC, and Xbox. Absolutely they do. More games for us, me to play. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much, 78 Inc. That's right, RPG. Thank you so much, 78. Greatly appreciate you, brother. RPG is right. He goes, they're done losing money. Absolutely, they're done losing money. But that's also going to come at a cost. So when they project that they're going to sell 10 million and under next-gen consoles, it's not because of the quality. It's not because of the games. It's not because of the services. It's not. It's because of the price. And they damn well know it. They know it. So that's why they offered accessibility options for the consumer. I don't need an Xbox anymore. I've got a monitor right here. And when I turn this monitor on, Xbox is already sitting there. No console required, even though I have them right here. I got my Series S down there on the lower shelf because it's the lower one. It goes in the bottom. And then I got my I got my Series X up top. But if they conk out one day and I want to access my library, whatever, I could just go on the monitor. I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? I don't need it. I got it right there. I could access it right there. No problem. I got controllers. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and... oh, there's another one here. This is my favorite Xbox controller, the blue one. I love this blue one. I love that one. I got 7 controllers. All right? I got 7 Xbox controllers. Dominic, you're not wrong. Okay, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. He said price isn't the only issue. The Series S proved that. Yeah, you know what the problem is? Is you offered 2 products under the same name and one was more powerful. And that was the problem. If the Series S was all they had and no one knew any better and it was priced reasonably, they probably would have sold a lot. Sometimes you sound like Alex Jones. They're making the frogs gay. So, you know what I mean? There's a little bit of all that. But anyways, whatever. Are you saying I sound like Alex Jones because of what I'm saying or how I'm saying it because of my voice? Because my voice is starting to go, just so everybody knows. Yeah, it might be the voice because my voice is starting to go. Like I'm at 2 hours here, and that's usually the time where the voice like starts to kick out. Jay Slayer, how you doing, buddy? Okay, so let's continue on again. I want to read her quote one more time, let you guys really absorb it. Then we're going to move on to the next quote. This one here says, I think that our core Xbox fans and players have invested up to 25 years of themselves in these universes and our console. I want to make sure everybody knows I'm committed to Xbox, starting with the console. We're going to keep meeting players where they are. The world continues to evolve and change. We're going to make sure Xbox is a great place for developers and players. All right. On to the next quote. Here we go. Oh! She says, continued. Like, did Matt Booty say anything, or did he just show up and, like, wave his booty around? Like, I don't even see his name, like, anywhere in this article. It's all her. She says, quote, we want to invest in reducing the artificial divide between different types of devices. Hold on a second, folks. Pump the brakes. We're going to have to go back and read this again. We want to invest in reducing the artificial divide between different types of devices that they want to use with us. What the fuck does that even mean?
Welcome to hell.
Fuck!
I gotta read that again. Chat, let me... You want me to read it? This Sousa. Before we continue, McLovin comes in and drops another $2 super chat. Thank you, buddy. And he says, just got home, been listening the whole time. Thank you, McLovin. I'm glad you got home safe, buddy. And you didn't have to donate to tell me that, but I'm glad you got home safe, brother. And I hope you enjoyed your daughter's performance. That's lovely. And we got Meat Puppet, a member for 5 months since in the member chat. Thank you so much, brother. And he says, it was fun while it lasted. Welcome to the end of Xbox. Well, hey, if you feel that that's what's going to happen, you are free to feel that way. All opinions will be respected here. Even Muhammad says, sounds like AI shit. Don't make me laugh, man. My voice is starting to go again. All right, fine. You want me to read it? The Sal's in the chat. Hey, Sal's, how you doing, buddy? He goes, he wants me to read the quotes in Macho Man's voice. Absolutely. I think I will do that.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go. We want to invest in reducing the artificial divide between different types of devices. Yeah, that's what they want to use with us. I think that means it's gonna be meaning a lot of more investment in breaking down the barriers, yeah, and developing and helping developers build once and show up across different hardware experiences. Oh yeah, and for me, I believe the Xbox starts with its fans. And we'll grow from there, yeah. That's what I wanted to signal with the return to Xbox. You understand that meme, Gene? Oh, yeah.
There you go. Oh, my God. There you go, guys. I'll give you a little bit. I'll give you some Macho Man. I'm reading all of Asha Sharma's quotes in Macho Man from now on, okay? Anyhow, let me read it again normally. Magnum says Matt Booty just farted in the mic and left. Wouldn't that be hilarious? All right, here we go. Let me read her quote again in normal speak so that you guys can actually hear what she said. This is a very confusing one. This is one that I'm having a problem with. AKL, how you doing, bud? She says, we want to invest in reducing the artificial divide between different types of devices that they want to use with us. What does that even mean? Mastermind, I would totally do it. What does that even mean? We want to invest in reducing the artificial divide between different types of devices that they want to use with us. Okay. So she's trying to... Basically, it's the Xbox Play Anywhere kind of thing. That's what I'm gathering from it. That's kind of what I'm gathering from it. So it's basically saying, like, there's an artificial divide between the different types of devices that they want to use with us. So that, once again, she's talking about accessibility. Okay? So she's not... So it's almost... like, correct me if I'm wrong, Chad. I might be totally wrong here or off base. You let me know because, you know, you guys have to keep me in check too. All right? You have to keep me in check here too. What I'm hearing from this is contradiction. The quote before, she says, I want to make sure everybody knows I'm committed to Xbox starting with the console. But then the next quote, she says, I want to invest in reducing the artificial divide between different types of devices that they want to use with us. So which one is it? C Fresh is saying it means everything is an Xbox. Okay, that's fine, C Fresh. It's totally fine, dude. But here's the thing. The quote before, you literally just said that you wanted to focus on the console. You see what I mean? You see, like, the chat is even a little confused. Everybody's like, what the fuck does that even mean? I don't know. So, like, it seems like it's contradicting itself. Anyways, let's carry on. I think that's going to mean a lot more investment in breaking down the barriers, in helping developers build once and show up across different hardware experiences. Okay, that's Xbox Play Anywhere. They were already doing that. You're not changing the world here. That's already been talked about. That's already happening. For me, I believe Xbox starts with its fans, okay? And we'll grow from there. That's okay. That's what I wanted to signal with the return to Xbox. Okay, so what I'm gathering from this and from the chat is Seth Monsters is saying, he goes, but console is just code for PC. You know what? You're not wrong. So that's why they're building the Magnus. They're building the Magnus so that they can actually reduce development time and development efforts that go into a game, because then you're making it only once. So when you get a Project Magnus, you are not playing an Xbox console version of a game. You are playing a PC version of the game. So it's developed once for PC, for Magnus, for ROG, Xbox, Ally X, whatever. You're playing the PC versions of all their games moving forward, and all they have to do beyond that is, if it's going to Switch, you know, develop it for the Switch and PlayStation. So you only have to do it twice instead of 3 times, or in some cases 4 times if you're going to release it on the Switch. So you're going to reduce development time and labor and staff, which that also is coming. You're going to be reducing that down by only having to develop once for the Xbox ecosystem, once for the PlayStation, and then in rare cases for the Switch too. So there's that. Hey, Noisy Muff, how you doing, buddy? So that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, exactly. Fuzzy Tomatoes not wrong. He goes, they've been talking about this for months. Sarah Bond has been talking about this forever. Phil has been talking about this for 6 years, or however many years it's been. So this is not really a change in strategy. So what I'm hearing from this is that there may be a superficial focus on the console, saying, hey, you know, we're going to spend more time maybe paying attention to the console gamer. That's totally cool. But you could tell by what's happening here is that this sounds like more of the same. You know what I mean? It just sounds like like I said earlier in the show, guys. You could come in with lofty expectations, but at the end of the day, your overlords, Satya and Amy, are going to tell you what to do. And they're not going to go back on a business strategy that they've already put time and effort into and continue with that with the accessibility, play anywhere, and everything is an Xbox and all that kind of stuff. That's still going to happen. They may just change the names of it, maybe morph it into something different, but it sounds like it's just more of the same. Here comes the new boss, same as the old boss. I believe The Who sang about that back in the 70s. Okay, so now let's continue with the article. For me, it's great to see Sharma committed to Xbox hardware. Yeah, she's did say that. And I will cross my fingers until we see an eventual true Xbox handheld. I don't think that's going to happen, Amy Hood. She did not greenlight that. But things could change. Who the hell knows? But I doubt it. Keep my fingers crossed until we see an eventual true Xbox handheld that can play my accumulated library spanning back 18 years. It doesn't quite end there. Sharma goes on to add, here we go. We got another quote here, folks. And I quote, Xbox players have thousands of dollars invested, true, in money and time too. It's incredibly important for me to understand that and protect that. I am committed to returning to Xbox, and that starts with console. That starts with the hardware. You will hear more about that soon. Okay, so you're going to announce the new hardware at some point, probably in the summer. Maybe later. It might be one of those things where, like, remember when Phil came out and talked about Project Scorpio, but they didn't really reveal it. He just talked about that it existed and all that kind of stuff. And he continued to call it Project Scorpio because it actually didn't have the name until later on. I would expect something at the Summer Game Fest, and that would be a good way to introduce her to the community, whatever. And she'll introduce the new hardware. Now, the proof of the pudding will be coming at most likely, I would think, somewhere around the time of the Game Awards. They'll talk about the actual console itself, the Project Magnus, have its actual real name out there. But once again, you won't see the price of that until the third quarter of 2027. So I wouldn't sit around and hold your breath waiting for a price. That will be a very last minute thing, as they're going to try and get parts that are going to be cheaper at that point. But however, I still don't see that happening. I think it's still going to be an incredibly expensive but very powerful hardware. It's just going to be very expensive. And I think that'll be the kind of thing that'll be weighted on. Now I'm going to finish the article here, and this is no longer her quote. Her saying, hearing her say there's more about that soon is an exciting premise and would certainly be a way to kickstart her time as CEO of Xbox. Okay, there's a lot to digest here, and it's rather exciting too. Sharma's saying a lot of right things, at least to me anyway, and hopefully to all of you. I didn't see anything. Okay, now that's the entire article. I think that when I say, hey, Deceiver, how you doing, bud? Thanks for joining in, man. RPG thinks it'll be axed. I don't think it'll be axed. It's coming out. But what they are going to do, I'll tell you this, in response to people not buying the Project Magnus, which they won't, outside of a very small subsect of people, just like the ROG Xbox Ally X, which was a failure, by the way. I just like to point that out. And people say, "Oh, well, it met expectations. It sold out on the Microsoft store." Just stop with that horse shit. It did not sell well. That was all market speak. I spoke to people who actually do international distribution and said that it fell far short of expectations. And the reason why it sold out, if you look at the fine print of what they said, it's sold out on the Microsoft store. It's sold out on like 2 Microsoft store storefronts. In like one in Spain and then one in the in the U.S. Everywhere else, it did not sell it because it's too expensive. It did not meet. I'm not going to say it's a failure. That's not fair. It's a little harsh. It's a little harsh to say it was a failure. But it did not meet sales expectations. Absolutely did not. So therefore, the Project Magnus, maybe even worse because it's going to be even more expensive than the ROG Xbox Ally X. But we will see. We'll see how that we'll see how that all pans out in the end. Here's the thing. Because of that, and they know they're not going to sell the products, they even said so internally, for Christ's sake. They expect to sell less than 10 million, and that came from Microsoft executives, not from some jackass with a microphone like me. That came from them. I spoke to one of them, and he says they talked about it in a meeting, for crying out loud. So they're projecting internally that it's not going to sell more than 10 million. That being the case, they're going to put more focus, once again, like I was saying, cloud and current consoles. They're going to focus on the Series X and the Series X moving forward and utilize those as tools to access the cloud and continue moving in that direction so that people can support that console and stay on those consoles 5 years into the next generation of consoles. In 2032, the Xbox Series X specifically will be healthy and utilized by a lot of people, and the ecosystem will be doing much better because people will gravitate towards that for a much cheaper price than the Magnus. And once again, a lot of people don't really give a shit. If it's on the cloud, they don't care if it's on the cloud or if they get a physical copy or a digital copy, whatever. It is what it's going to be. And I'm telling you right now, they're going to support the Series X at least 5 years into the next generation because of the lack of affordability options. So therefore, you're going to go with accessibility. You could buy a Series X console for $250 on Facebook Marketplace. Nobody wants them. So they're selling them off on dude, I just checked it, 250 Canadian. You could buy one 5 minutes up the road from my house. Guys selling a Series X for $250. The average going price is between $250 and $300 Canadian. That's $200, almost $300 less than what I paid for the damn thing. In fact, I paid $670, so it was almost $700 at launch. The tax and all that shit up here in Canada. So that being the case, they're selling it for upwards of $300 to maybe even almost $400 less than what you paid for. You can just go to Facebook Marketplace for a couple $100, buy a Series X. You're set till 2032. Or if they go with the Magnus, Canadian prices, you're looking at somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000 based on their internal projections in US dollars. I converted it over. It's that's not happening in this house. I'll tell you that right now. I am not spending upwards of $1,800 to $2,000, $1,500, whatever on no chance. When you get to that point, you might as well just buy a PC, as people say. But I don't like PCs. I mean, it's not that I don't like PCs. I have a PC, but I'm saying I use that for YouTube only. I do not use that for gaming. So I mean, those are just those are just my thoughts, man. And I think they damn well know it. And so what I'm thinking is what she's saying when she says focus on consoles. She didn't say future consoles. You notice that too? You got to be very careful with these people. She did not say future consoles. She said we're going to focus on the people on console, which means they could literally be talking about the people that are in the ecosystem right now. She could still be talking about those series consoles and how they could support those into the future, knowing damn well that if the price remains the same from what they internally projected, very few people are going to buy that thing. Not because of power, not because of quality, not because of what it offers, it's because of the fucking price. People mishear what a lot of YouTubers say out there, myself included. And they think that I'm saying some fanboy shit. I'm talking shit about Xbox. I'm doom and glooming Xbox. No, I'm not. I'm really not. $2,000 Canadian is not an affordable console. No one's going to buy it. That's just a fact. Maybe 2%, 3% of Xbox players will buy that at that price. Let me ask you guys in the chat. If they do release the Magnus somewhere in the projected range of $1,200 to $1,500 US dollars, how many are going to be able to just sit there and go, yeah, fuck it, and just go buy it? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to say, man. I'm just trying to be real. No, Xbox will never send me anything anymore. They send me some cool shit. Not anymore. Like you saw that Xbox hoodie I had when the Series X got. They gave me that. That was awesome. I got a couple of Xbox shirts and stuff. My wife has Xbox PJs upstairs. Like she got like 2 different pairs, like a whole. She's got like that whole body Xbox one that has pockets that fit Xbox controllers in it. It's actually really cool. It's like a giant Xbox onesie. She has one of those. She's got Xbox PJs. She's got an Xbox like soccer jersey. I've got the Xbox soccer jersey for the anniversary. The 20th anniversary one. They gave me one of those for that. That was awesome. But I can tell you right now, they ain't sending me shit anymore. Dented Iron says no console at the price. Muhammad says fuck no. Mastermind says heck no. Sells us buying it. Fair enough. Cybergunter says maybe, not an immediate yes. Now, see, you know the thing is? The thing is the sticker shock. If it indeed comes out at that price, then you have a sticker shock situation where people are going to have to go, well, let me think about it. You know what I mean? And the problem is, when you think about it, you lost. When you think about it, when you make a customer think about their purchase, you lost. You lost the customer. You don't know it yet, and they don't know it yet, but I know. When you make a customer even take 1 second to sit back and think about a purchase, you lost that customer and you don't even realize you lost them. This is Marketing 101. This is why I want Asha to call me. Marketing 101. If you make the customer even hesitate to make a purchase because of sticker shock, you've lost the customer, you just don't know it yet. Because that guy or gal's going to go home and they're going to sit there and go, oh, fuck, the PS6 is like $750 or $800 or whatever. And then all of a sudden they start weighing it out an extra $500 and do they really care? Probably not. I can still get all my Xbox games over there. I can still keep my Xbox. I got a Series X sitting here. I can just keep using that for as long as they support it. And I mean, if the cloud system, which will get better, by the way, the Xbox cloud service is going to continue to improve. So therefore, that being the case, it's going to keep getting better. Imagine how good the cloud's going to be in 2030. 2029, 2030, 2031, 2032. As long as your Series X is still kicking, you're probably going to get some outstanding gaming experiences on there as the technology continues to improve, right? So there's an option. So as soon as you've done that, as soon as people put that in their own mind and they go, well, let me sleep on it. You lost them and you don't even realize it. And like I said, not even the customer realizes it, but you lost them. because now their brain is going to start rationalizing. And once a consumer starts to rationalize a purchase, you're fucked. Your marketing has failed. So we shall see. I'm telling you right now, that's how it works. Hey, Chichi, how you doing? He says 70 to 80% of Xbox users picked the Series S just for the price because 500 Series X was too expensive. They target market for Magnus is literally 8 million users for over 5 years. Yes. Yes. Chichi, I don't know where you get your info, but it sounds pretty close to what I heard. They said they projected under 10 million, yeah. So there it is, man. G-Mania drops another $5 super chat. Thank you so much, G-Mania. And for $5 Canadian, he says, I spent over $2,000 on my Series X. What? Hold on, I got to read the rest of his super chat here. He says, I spent over $2,000 on Series X, bought 3 for backup because I have over 2,000 physical games. Fuck me. G-Mania, that is wild. You know what? For that, you get a rare achievement, buddy. Here you go. There you go, G-Mania. Thank you for the $5 super chat. And yes, dude, I bought 3 consoles day one. I bought 3 day one. And I bought the PS5. The Switch I already had. But yeah, I bought 2 Series. I bought 2 Series X's day one, a Series S day one, and a PS5 day one. So yeah, I probably spent about $2,000. But the thing is, it wasn't just all for me. The Series S was for my children, who no longer play Xbox, because you know what ended up happening? It's not because they didn't like it. They actually love they actually enjoy the Xbox quite a bit. But guess what? All their friends have PS5s. So my son and my daughter came to us at one point. They're like, Dad, none of our friends have an Xbox. Old dog, how you doing, buddy? Matt Collins in the house. Yeah, Matt Collins, trust me, dude. I've been sick.
Get in there and fight,
I've been sick for 11 days, bro. He goes, not feeling well with a sore throat. Dude, I've been like battling this fucking thing for like, it's been 11 days, almost 12 days now. This virus just won't leave. But I mean, I've talked for 2+ hours, and like Magna pointed out in the chat, I sound like Alex Jones now. The deep state is turning the frogs gay. So yeah, I spent $2,000 as well, G-Mania. So a Series S for my children. I had a Series X. My wife had a Series X. Because we play separately, right? So there it is. We got 3. And then, of course, I bought the PS5 for myself. And that's when I just started doing YouTube. And it wasn't just I was doing YouTube. It was also I was doing, I mean, I wasn't doing this. I didn't have my own channel. I was guesting on other people's channels. But I thought to myself, I can't talk about this stuff if I don't own the, if I don't have access to the games, right? And at that time, there was no multi-platform strategy. If I wanted an Xbox game, I had to have an Xbox. If I wanted a PS5 game, I have to have a PS5. And so that's what I did. Over time, that all morphed. My wife left the Xbox. She sold her Series X. She said, you know when she did it? You remember when 2022, 2023, when Xbox had like fuck all going on? She's like, I am so fucking sick and tired of waiting. And so she got rid of it. She sold it, got a PS5, never looked back. And then but the thing is, she also missed a lot of PS4 games. Like, she never played Ghost of Tsushima. She never played God of War. She never played Last of Us. She never played God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man. And so she went back and started playing all those games because I already owned them. And so what I did is I said, don't buy anything. We'll just game share. So you have access to all my games now. And she got access to all my games. She started playing and she loves it. And now we game share. So now the funny thing is, now I buy all my third party on PlayStation, because why would I buy it twice? I buy it once on my PlayStation, and she gets to play it upstairs for free, essentially. Otherwise, if I bought them on Xbox, I'd have to buy them again if she wants to play it. I'm like, that's so stupid. Why would I do that? I'm not made out of money. You know what I mean? Even if I was made out of money, it wouldn't make any prudent sense. There's no logic to that. I would never buy. Now, the only thing is, I'm a Resident Evil stan, okay? I told you guys a million times before, okay? I'm a total cuck for Resident Evil. So I'm buying that Legacy Edition on the Switch too. I am double dipping on that. All right. I'm a fraud. I double dipped on Resident Evil for the Switch 2 and the PS5 Pro. Now, the PS5 Pro is so myself and my wife can play it, right? We game share. But I also bought it for the Switch too. I'm going to be traveling to a few places later this year where, I want to play Resident Evil. I got the Legacy Edition too, where you get Resident Evil 7, 8 gold editions, and Resident Evil Requiem all in one package. $120 Canadian. Can't beat that price. I'll be pre-downloading that right now, but before I go to bed. But anyways, whatever. 2,000 physical games, G-Media. That's absolutely amazing, brother. That's incredible. Thank you very much for the super chat, brother. We got Glinzer coming up. How you doing, Glinzer? Glinzer drops a $5 super chat. He says, if you need to know the menu prices before you enter, maybe you shouldn't enter. If Magnus is premium, people hear pricey. Absolutely. That's all I was trying to say. And the thing is, at the end of the day, and this is what I've been trying to say, what I was trying to say is that I'm not shit talking the Xbox hardware at all. I'm just pointing out the reality that if you're charging upwards of 2 to 3 times what the last console generation was, people are not going to buy it just because of the price. Not because of the games, not because of Game Pass, not because of, or the quality. No one's talking about that stuff. You want to talk about the quality? I bet you Magnus is going to be a beast. It's going to be a beast of a console. Amazing graphics, amazing frame rates, ray tracing, all that kind of jazz. It's going to be an incredible machine, no question. Only problem is no one's going to buy it. And I don't mean nobody. I mean the casual market's not going to buy it. Look at me with a straight face. Now you guys. Anybody else out there, look at me with a straight face and tell me how many casual consumers are going to go out and buy their kid a $1,500 console, American, or $1,200 console, whatever it ends up falling into, or even $1,000. Let's just say they even break their projected internal price, which is $1,200 to $1,500 US dollars. Let's just say they managed to get it down to $1,000. Still look at me with a straight face. This ain't no console war bullshit. Look at me straight in the face and tell me how many casual parents are going to go spend $1,000 on a console for their kids. Because the kid, or even a teenager, or even a guy in his 20s, working at a fast food joint part-time while he's in school or he's in college or something. Nope. That's what it boils down to. It's not hate. It's not doom and gloom. It's just the facts about the price. And like I said earlier in the show, about 20 minutes ago, what I said, if you make a customer hesitate, you lost them. And that's a golden rule of marketing 101. There you go. Fuzzy Tomatoes got it right. Every game next gen is going to be on the Series X and the PS5. Absolutely it will be. Absolutely it will be, because they're not going to be stupid about it. Not going to be stupid about it. They're going to know that they're going to have to support this well. Why do you think Call of Duty is still available on the PS4 and the Xbox One? Why? Because they damn well know that the majority of the consumers are playing on last-gen consoles, because a lot of them are kids, people from other countries who can't afford it, or whatever the situation may be. There's a lot of people playing on the last gen. Why would you cut them off? A lot of people couldn't even afford the Series X and the PS5. Now you're about to double that? And it's not just that. I mean, PlayStation could be doing the same thing, but we're not sure. We're not sure just yet. They haven't said much about it. I mean, to be fair, neither has Xbox, really. But they did say it was going to be a boutique curated experience. All right? Saying it without saying it, you just said it. You know what I mean? So, anyways, we shall see about all this. It's, the big boy says, I'm not getting it for the kids, I'm getting it for myself. Yes. Yeah, exactly, Seth Monsters. No one's going to be cut off. No one's going to be cut off. They're going to keep it going for those generations. Now, you're going to get, variations of it, very much like a PC. You got shit PCs out there that can run modern games, but way scaled back. Or you can have a 5090, and you can have, the ultimate experience, right? They're going to do the same thing with these consoles. It's exactly how they're going to run it. And then eventually, when the hardware becomes absolutely limited to the point where they cannot squeeze anything more out of it, then it's going to be a cloud access machine. There it is. That's how they're going to do it. The next COD is not on PS4, you're right. But how many years did it take, Seth? How many years did it take? 6 effing years, brother. 6 years of cross-gen on Call of Duty. So I would imagine that a lot of these games will be scalable, just like they are on PC, and that's how they're going to operate them moving forward. So that's what I can see. What I also can see is eventually them dropping the Series S entirely. Eventually. It'll get to the point where it'll just be an access point for cloud, and that'll happen sooner than the Series X, because the Series X is a much more capable machine. I think that could probably outlive the Series S for another 2 years, and then I think the Series S will eventually become just a cloud-only access point far sooner than the Series X will or the PS5. So there is that. Even with on the PlayStation side of things, when you're looking at like the PS5 Pro will be very popular over the next 5-6 years, as people will not be willing to upgrade to the PS6 right away. They'll stick around with the PS5. I don't even need a PS6. I don't need a PS6 next year. I don't need it. I'm more than my PS5 Pro is a beast. It's a monster. I love that thing. Incredible games. You know how many times I live stream on my PS5 Pro and people are like, dude, what kind of PC you got? This looks amazing. And I'm like, it's not even a PC. It's a PS5 Pro. And a lot of people in the chat think I'm playing on a high-end PC. Great, right? So what do I need a new console next year for? I don't need a console from any of them next year. And a lot of people have the same sentiment because our focus is not really going to be on that, especially if we already have access to all of it already. What do we need it for? Like, like other YouTubers out there have these monster rigs that they play their games on. Are they getting any different of an experience? Like, I'm still playing the games. I'm still playing the games in high quality. Does it make any difference at the end of the day? Not really, because when we sit down on the show and we talk about them, it's not going to change anything. Nothing. It changes nothing. Salza, don't do that. Destructo Mag, how come Sarah Bond hasn't put out a statement yet? She was fired. I don't think you're going to hear from her, period. I think she's just like, that's it. Just walk away. That's all there's. Dude, that's what happened with my let me just, I'll open up to you guys a little bit about this, not a lot. But I can tell you this. My last job that I had, my last corporate job, nobody heard from me ever again. Nobody. No statement, no nothing, no hellos, goodbyes with the staff, nothing. And it's been 7 months, still haven't talked to anybody. Not a peep. Oh, she did put a statement. Yeah, she did put a statement. But like, you're not going to see much more beyond that. Snow Dragon saying, I just need to upgrade my PC graphics card. Yeah, man, then you're all good. Listen, at the end of the day, man, it doesn't really matter. Oh, Romeo, 100% it will. I'm telling you right now. He says, I really hope the PS5 Pro can last till the next PS5 6 Pro. Absolutely it will. I'm telling you. CyberGunter, the Portal is absolutely worth the money. The Portal's a great piece of hardware. If anybody doesn't have a Portal and you're on a PlayStation, you're missing out. For a couple of $100, you are getting a premium experience that I don't know how the hell they did it. And you know what's funny? I actually don't stream from my console anymore. I use cloud exclusively on it. And the cloud is flawless. And I've been to some places that have some pretty shitty Wi-Fi, and I have been playing games flawlessly on my Portal. Big, beautiful, colorful screen, stereo surround sound, 3D audio, full haptic feedbacks, all on a handheld. I don't know how the hell they did it. The screen is remarkable. Makes me laugh that the ROG Xbox Ally X, the screen is smaller. And this thing is like $800 cheaper. And the screen is bigger and beautiful. I've held both of them side by side. It's incredible. If you want to use cloud, yes, you have to use premium. You have to use premium for it. But I was using premium anyway in my house. Because my wife games online, I game online, and then we have access to the other library stuff. Like, I'm playing God of War 3 Remastered because of all this God of War, remake trilogy talk. It kind of got me itching to play it. So I downloaded God of War 3 Remastered, and I've been playing that on my Portal in bed. Fuck, it's awesome. So yes, it's definitely worth it. I wish that Xbox, honestly, I wish that Xbox actually had like a cheap handheld option like the Portal. I'm really surprised they didn't do something like that. You know what I mean? I'm really surprised Xbox didn't drop like a $199, streaming, whatever, handheld, cloud support. I mean, they're pushing this cloud so much. I'm really shocked that they haven't done that. And you never know. Hey, you know what? Maybe Asha Sharma's going to drop one. How the hell do we know? We don't know. Yeah, Deacon, how you doing, buddy? Premium is great. You might actually, you never know. What if Asha Sharma does that? She drops like a $200 cloud streaming device, very similar to the Pro. Not the Pro, the Portal. That'd be cool. For $200, I'd buy one. The big boy is saying it's called your phone. Yeah, but you know what? Honestly, I have an S24 Ultra, and the screen is huge on this thing, right? But let me tell you something. That Portal screen is even bigger than that. The Portal screen is magnificent. I was playing Spider-Man Remastered on it. Fuck me, it looks incredible. Even my brother-in-law, who doesn't game, looked at it, and he goes, Jesus, that's gorgeous. And he's like, that looks really good. He goes, what is that? And I told him all about it. He didn't even know what it was. He's not a gamer. So, I mean, I even told him, like, yeah, it's this, and that. He was amazing. He was like, wow, that's incredible. And I was just playing on the cloud up north at the cottage, in his cottage, in the wilds, sitting there on the couch next to the fire playing Spider-Man. Like, unreal. Hey, Bean, how you doing, buddy? Well, anyways, I think I covered everything I wanted to cover about the whole Xbox thing, and pretty much that's the show tonight, folks. But here's the thing. Yes, we could have gone into all of the other stuff, all the other topics, but I feel that now it's Tuesday. Unless anything new comes out tomorrow, I didn't see any reason to just keep rehashing the same topics over and over and over and over again. Like, I've seen some channels do like 7 videos of the same thing over and over, and I think everybody has heard it so many times. I thought it would be a waste of time. I thought it would be a waste of time for me to just rehash all the stuff that everybody's already talked about. So what I thought tonight is I would go with the new Windows Central article, and I thought I would focus on that. So if anybody wants to go check that out, go check out Windows Central and check out the new article by Jez Corden. And he talks about his interview with Asha Sharma, and apparently Matt Booty, who farted in the microphone and ran away because he didn't say anything. I mean, what is he, like the emotional support animal? Like, he was just sitting there next to her, like not saying anything. Like, I mean, all the quotes were from her. I didn't see Matt Booty say anything. I'm starting to think he's actually AI. He's not a real person. Either that, or like I said, I think he's like Asha's like a personal support animal. He just kind of sits there and keeps her happy or something. C Fresh is saying the Portal has the best LCD screen I've ever seen on a handheld. Yep, absolutely did. Oh, Matt Rush, you said Matt did talk? Where the fuck were all his quotes? All the quotes in the Windows Central article were all from her. Booty said Redfall wasn't my fault. Oh my god. Yeah, DJ Marshman, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, I'm still live. Although my voice is starting to go now. I really am starting to sound like Alex Jones. But yeah, it's been an awesome show, guys, tonight. It's been 2.5 hours. Absolutely amazing show, everybody. Thank you guys all for the support, and thank you everybody out there for all the gifted members, for all the super chats, and everything that goes into supporting this channel. I mean, I can't do this without you guys, man. And I really appreciate every single one of you. It's been absolutely incredible. What a great night. Great turnout from a lot of great people. And, we talked about a lot of things tonight. I hope things weren't too controversial for some. I know some people get turned off by it, but I try to be as honest and as honest as humanly possible. And I try to be as authentic as I can. I try to get all my thoughts out there. And sometimes they rub people the wrong way. Sometimes they rub people the right way. But that's what it is, being authentic. You just got to put yourself out there and hope that people come around and, sort of support you for that. And I can tell you from what I see in the chat and what I see in the chat every time I go live, I see tons of support. So, yeah, man. All right, well, folks, listen. Tomorrow night, I'm gonna let my voice rest up for tomorrow in the day. Tomorrow night, I'll do a bonus stream of Resident Evil 2 Remake, and the reason why I chose that is because it takes place in the exact same locations that Resident Evil Requiem will take place in 30 years later. So at least we get to see it in its former glory. So I think that what we're gonna do is we will do a run tomorrow night. Now, listen, you got to understand, I've done like probably 10 or 11 runs on that game. So I have like all the weapons unlocked and everything, so you're not going to get a real survival horror experience, but at least you get to experience the game. And I will be doing that tomorrow night around 8 p.m. I will do Resident Evil 2 remake in anticipation of Requiem, which takes place in the same area. So yeah, we got all of that. So we will be doing that. That's going to be fantastic. So yeah, CyberConter's not wrong. Play your backlog. Stop buying games. Let's go for it. Dude, I'm doing that too, man. But you know, I got for the maggots. I gotta do everything for the maggots. Spam those emojis, boys. Spam those emojis. I love it. So, anyways, okay, everybody, have a wonderful night. Stay magnificent. Thank you guys for all the support, and we'll see you all tomorrow night. We will do a Resident Evil 2 remake stream in anticipation of Requiem this Friday. All right. Good night, everyone. Love you guys all. We'll talk to you all soon. Bye now.